It's time to get things started.
On the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, Keelerational. This is what we call the Keeler Show.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Alrighty now. Okay, so now we're going to have to see how the New York Mets will react to a loss after winning 7 in a row. Sorry, I got your mic there.
You know, that it's hard to win a game in Major League Baseball, right?
It is. And listen, I'm just, you know, it would be like the Mets to be like, oh, my God, we lost a game.
And then,
we thought we were never going to lose again.
And then spiral.
And then
yeah.
Spiral. But I don't think that's going to happen. Anyway,
no.
It is what it is. And still, the Yankees are up over 500 by how many games?
I know. And people
25
get
games?
angry with me when I say this, but things like last night just make me realize that Boone is a terrible game manager, and that when it comes to the crucial time of the season, which will be October, if the kind of stuff that happens last night happens, we will never win.
I want you to talk about these. I really didn't think about it, but 2 big fires battled on Wednesday.
Oh my gosh.
In the heat.
Hottest day of the year so far.
In Utica, it is temperatures are in the low to mid 90s. That's just the temperature, but imagine being in the sun.
Yeah, the heat index feeling over 100, and then you're battling a blaze in heavy equipment. The first fire happened early in the morning, I think just before 10 a.m., I believe. I got to go to the story on our website to be specific. But just before 10, the fire happened on Leslie Avenue. It was a multifamily home. The fire began in the bathroom and ceiling area of the first floor. There was heavy smoke damage to the second floor from the fire. 4 adults and 3 cats were displaced by the blaze. I actually know the gentleman who was living there. I talked to him this morning. He says everybody's okay, but it definitely was a scary moment. But as a result of battling the blaze, Scott Ingersoll, the fire chief, told me that 2 of his men, 2 of his firefighters, were sent to Wynn Hospital, one with heat stress and one with a sprained ankle. Both were treated and released. Then there was another fire later in the evening at 8:34 p.m., When companies arrived, they found heavy smoke coming from the first and second floor of a structure on Louisa Street. Heavy fire burning in the rear of the first floor. With fire extending into the second floor, firefighters were able to control the blaze and complete the search of the structure. All occupants were accounted for. There were no injuries.
No.
So, yeah, we'll talk to Chief Ingersoll at 6:45 this morning to discuss just how difficult the job is, in the sense it doesn't stop when it's 103 degrees.
Yeah, you're feeling that, and it's like anything else. The when you think about it, you're standing in the sun. You look out, the temperature is in the shade. The temperature is 95 degrees.
Yeah,
but if you put that thermometer in the sun, that's what it will feel like. And imagine these firefighters out there, and then you're carrying all that equipment. I can't imagine what it's like, but it is obviously it's their job. It's essential for them to do, and we'll speak with the chief on that coming up also. This morning, also we have a Utica resident coming in, or at least on the phone this morning, talking about a personal story with Willie Mays, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, so it's somebody that he knows that is good friends with, who's a former player and teammate of Willie Mays.
Yeah.
And it's a story that just kind of will speak to the character of Willie Mays and how he treated his teammates. So
Tim Reed is in today. We'll have a Real Men Get Tested announcement. It'll be a doozy. We'll get to that. John Decker is on later today. Also, Police raided a store last week and shut down this is a hemp store.
Yeah, CBD store.
In Oneida. And claiming that they were selling illegal marijuana out of that store. They say they were not, but they were shut down. And one of the people who work there, one of the managers, will speak out on this today, what they went through.
Yeah, and he told me yesterday, I spoke to him on the phone when setting up a time for him to call in, that it really made him nervous because here they are. It's popular greenhouse is what it's called. Cornell's greenhouse.
German Haus.
Yes. And he said, my anxiety is already bad enough, and then I had this incident happen.
Yeah.
It was not a pleasant experience. So he'll share that and his perspective on what he felt went down later on this morning.
So I think the rollout of this whole marijuana thing has been really rough.
Yeah.
And on top of that, you have so many of these places that are selling that are not certified places to sell, and you sometimes wonder, what are you getting some synthetic stuff? Are you should you have to worry about fentanyl? Is it regulated? Is it just like buying it off the street from somebody you don't know?
It's almost like they probably should have just given out licenses to really anybody who applied for one and let competition weed out other stores.
Pun intended.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing, is everybody's saying, well, I can't get a license. There's so much red tape. I'm just going to take my chances and sell the stuff from maybe that I get from California or, God forbid, off the street. But if the New York State Office of Cannabis Management had just said, you know what, we're going to give it just like the Alcoholic Beverage Commission.
Right.
You want to open a bar, you everything checks out, your background check's good, you have a location, we'll give you a license to sell liquor. If your bar does well, great. If you don't, you go out of business. Why doesn't the New York Office of Cannabis Management just give licenses to who wants to give it a shot? If people want to frequent their
like anything
dispensary,
else, I really almost feel like the fireworks thing was done in the same way, where they added these odd restrictions that just don't seem to completely make sense.
Do it or don't.
Right. You're either going to do it, make it legal. Obviously, you want to regulate it, but either do it or don't. I completely agree.
Yeah.
So yesterday, New York State listed their 15 most wanted people in New York State. The Department of Corrections maintained a list of the most wanted fugitives in New York State. And according to the Department of Corrections and Community Supervision's Office, there is one person who's an upstate New Yorker who is from the Gloversville area, who is among the 10 most wanted in New York State. His name is Jason Callahan, 53 years old. He has a really large beard, or at least in the photo. It's a big beard. And you can see the stories up on our website at WIBX950.com. Wanted for rape and distributing indecent material to a minor.
Oh, my God.
Known to be in the Gloversville, New York area, so just down the thruway.
Oh, boy.
That is, these stories are rough, but being one of the most wanted in the state puts quite the magnifying glass on you, I would say. Today, we're also going to remind you can win windows from New York Sash. Win Keeler's Windows is the contest. These are the same windows we had installed in our home. 4 beautiful, and I'm telling you, they're easier to open. They're easier to lock. They're easier to close. They're easier to pull open, to wash from the inside out. They not only keep the cold out in the winter or the heat out in the summer, but they keep your air conditioning in the summer and your heat inside in the wintertime. But not only that, they're triple glazed. So there are 3 different air compartments that prevent that leakage, whether coming from outside in or inside out. And there's a tint on these windows that prevents, for instance, if you have a couch that's constantly getting sunshine and it's a darker color, it will fade. That color will fade because of the sun.
Yeah.
This prevents that from happening, or it certainly dissipates it from happening. These are just better windows that are made for upstate New York weather, and so much so that we had new construction from 6 years ago.
This is
new construction.
The best part about this.
My wife hated the windows that they installed. And they were, one would say, well, these are comparable windows, not even close. So we ended up taking those newer windows out, new windows, 6-year-old windows, and replacing them with the New York Sash windows.
Well, you're leaving out the best part.
Oh, there's more?
They come with a lifetime warranty.
And a lifetime warranty on top of that. If there's ever an issue, you make a phone call. And I've had it happen where maybe the lock breaks or something occurs, and you make the phone call, and the manufacturer sends a rep out. And these are manufactured specifically for New York Sash. They send a rep out, and they take care of your windows. So
it's a beautiful thing.
You could win those very same 4 double-hung windows. All you have to do is go to the website, WIBX950.com, click on Keeler. You'll see the window contest. Click on that. It will take you directly to the entry form, and you can tell them why you feel you need new windows. And at the end of the month, we'll give away 4. There is no purchase necessary. The other thing we're giving away, and I don't know if you're looking into the weekend forecast at all, but it's still going to be in the 80s. Still looks like it's going to be humid. We'll get some sunshine, some possible thunderstorms through the weekend. But we're giving away an air conditioner.
This is a very valuable prize.
And this will not be the last time we're dealing with heat. I can almost assure you. But even 85 degrees, which we'll see over the weekend. So far, we have about a dozen people that are competing, and we'll add a few more today. All you have to do is, and this is very important, not necessarily predict the temperature. You can give me the exact number.
We've got...
I said it was 12. 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. Or maybe 11. Anyway, not only, we're not really predicting the temperature tomorrow at 7:20 a.m. You're predicting the temperature according to, when we call at 7:20 a.m., according to the M&T phone number. You can still call that number, 315-797-6111, and it gives you the time, the weather, after a little plug for the bank. It's the great name the exact temperature on the old Savings Bank of Utica weather line at exactly 7:20 a.m. this Friday contest.
They have gotten, M&T has gotten some good press out of us here the last few days.
I wonder if they have corrected. I know the time was wrong, though. Right?
Yeah,
the time was screwed up
by 28 minutes.
Let's see.
But right now, temperatures 67 through 76 are accounted for.
Good morning. Brought to you by
I gotta say,
M&T
if we get a thunderstorm, it could bring the temperature down.
People everywhere are raising.
It's still possible for a lower temperature.
Oh, yeah.
Or a warmer temperature
Join
tomorrow.
them.
Well, because that heat
Stop by
advisory
any
ends at 8 tonight.
Yeah.
Visit mtb.com for details.
Okay.
M&T Bank time 6:05.
Yeah, the time's still off by 30 minutes.
Thursday, June 20th. The current temperature is 74 degrees Fahrenheit.
All right.
Thank you for calling.
Okay.
You're welcome. Thank you for
So Donna,
giving us the wrong time.
Donna had said, let's say this was 7:20, which is when we will call exactly. We have to make sure we call at 7:20 tomorrow. Otherwise, we would scrub the whole contest.
What was it a minute ago?
It's got to be exactly 7:20 by WIBX
Davey,
time.
do not let us forget.
It's currently 6:34 and 8 seconds, 9 seconds, 10 seconds, 11 seconds. That's the exact time. This has been completely synchronized by the National Institute of Standards and Technology. So this is like the official naval time. This is world time by the second. And that is the time, 7:20 a.m. What's the temperature? And we will we'll make that call tomorrow and determine the winner. But we'll have a few more people in the mix. Right now, available is 66 and 65, 60, anything below 66. So 66 and below. And then there's still, what did it say the temperature is right now?
74.
74. There is still available 70, 78, 79, and 80. Last night it was like 11 o'clock at night. What are you showing me, Davey? What is that? You're putting up a little marker to remind us, 7:20 tomorrow. Last night it was like 10 o'clock at night. It was still 81 degrees. And it was just so humid because we had gotten rain yesterday. I don't know about anybody else, but you have the steam on the windows. You go out, you get out of your car, you have your sunglasses on, and your glasses, whether they're sunglasses or correction, they fog up, and
So will we have to? I think we're going to have to time how long her little speech is, and then call maybe like 40 seconds ahead of time.
No, I think we just call it 7:20. We're good. Right at 7:20, though.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, because her little speech is about 20
go a minute.
seconds
What
long.
What if she doesn't give us the temperature till 7:21?
We'll be all right. We still made the phone call at 7:20. That's what we have to do. This is an unbelievable story. I know we have some doozies around here, but an entire 30-foot playground structure was stolen from a park in Jacksonville, Florida on Monday.
Oh, my God.
It was taken from an organization that works with autistic children.
Oh, that's nice.
Here's the executive director, Melissa Kramer, and I think this is going to play properly. This is the executive director of the autistic group that actually made this park. Everything was stolen.
The girls were shocked. A couple of them got here before me, and they were like, Melissa, what are you doing with the playground? It was just gone. I don't know how you take a 30-foot playground. They took the swings. They took the slide. They took the monkey bar, like everything. It's just gone. It's really bizarre.
They even took the monkey bars.
I mean, that's skill. That's skill right there.
Yeah. Elon Musk says 2 people have attempted to assassinate him in the last 7 months, and he does not want to end up like, who do you think he said? Elon Musk said, I do not want to end up dead
so many people.
Like blank.
Well, the obvious answer maybe is JFK, but...
no, he is going to music and not politics. He does not want to end up like John Lennon. Yeah,
okay.
Here we go.
Right.
We actually did have 2 homicidal maniacs in the last roughly 7 months come to aspirationally try to kill me and a bunch of other people. And there wasn't like an actual issue that they articulated. They were just, in the homicidal maniac career. So I do need to be kind of careful. Forces me to be a bit more sort of standoffish. So now, I've stopped signing things because, that would be a sure way to homicidal maniac. I'll just have to sign something and then shoot him. Think of John Lennon, who was singing about hey, can't we all just be nice to each other? And then he got shot, by one of his fans. You're like, okay, we'll try to avoid that.
He's an interesting listen. He's kind of hard to follow and understand.
Yeah.
I mean, I imagine a radio interview would be frustrating with Elon Musk.
Yeah, he's all over the place.
He talks, he mumbles, and he makes comparisons in the midst of everything. It gets a little tough to follow. Anyway, he makes that comparison to John Lennon. All right, I don't know what is going on. If who was the person who used to the character who used to be able to talk to animals? Was it Dr. Dolittle?
Yeah, well, yes, that is.
I think we've got a Dr. Dolittle park at our house. It's unbelievable. I told you that we had.
You had the snakes.
So that I got rid of the snakes. Dealing with that. The woodchucks and the squirrels and the chipmunks and all that stuff is normal, right? That stuff is normal.
The spraying cat.
We had the spraying cat. You're right. We had to get rid of that. It was spraying on our basement windows. It was terrible, and the smell was awful. We had to get rid of that.
The birds.
And then all of a sudden, we began to get Alfred Hitchcock and the birds. So we did have a crow's nest. We did have several robin's nests. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 robin's nests, and then a new one. My wife came in yesterday and said, "We have a new one."
Oh, my God.
And this is unbelievable. Maybe somebody can explain this to me. I don't know completely.
Is that the one that we were looking at when I came over to get the equipment from you the other night?
There?
Was it in the front?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know there was one there, Davey. I didn't realize it was there on the front door. So my wife has a wreath on the front door, and they built a nest into the front door wreath.
The front door. Oh,
so now when you open the door, can you imagine? It's like complete. Now my wife doesn't want the front door opened.
She doesn't want to disturb the birds.
Saying, "Don't disturb the birds."
Oh, boy.
Mama bird's doing something. So you got to let us know you're there, and then we'll let you in another way into the house. So here's the thing. This is not a robin's nest, and there are two breeds, and maybe somebody can explain this. I think I know, but maybe I'm wrong. There are two breeds of eggs in the nest. There are 3 eggs from one.
Cross-pollination.
There are 3 eggs from one bird, 2 eggs from another bird.
Here's the story.
And the 2 eggs are spotted. They're larger and they're spotted. They have spots all over them.
Interesting.
So what this really is, from what I understand, is there's a thing called, and maybe somebody can confirm this for me, this thing's called a bird called a cowbird. And it's prevalent. It's prevalent in the Northeast and in upstate New York. So 315-736-0186 if you know anything about this.
It sounds like
a cowbird. Here's what happens: the cowbird will look for another bird's nest, and we're pretty sure that this is either a songbird or a finch nest, because there's smaller birds, and one of them is like orangish red. I believe that's the male. So there are 2 birds that are hovering over and laying on the nest. They have 3 small eggs, and then there are the 2 larger spotted eggs. This cowbird, will I'm Marlon Perkins, by the way.
Yeah,
This
clearly.
cowbird will lay its eggs in another bird's nest and let the other bird tend to it, warm the eggs, lay on it, sit on the eggs, and then even feed those chicks when born.
Wow.
They usually hatch a couple of days before maybe the finch eggs hatch, and so this is an absentee mother we're talking about here. She just drops her eggs in another mother's nest and is like, "You take care of them. I can't deal with them." I actually know some people like this.
It's like you got to bring Maury in to investigate this thing.
So I know you think this is all made up, but I think this is really true. Look it up. I believe it's called a cowbird, and literally we now have them on the front door of our house. It just blows my mind. Why us? Why is this place the bird haven? Why have we created such a thing?
Well, because your wife doesn't have the heart to get rid of them.
Worse than that. She is strict and strong on saying you cannot take these down. You can't take this nest down.
Yeah.
And don't open the door because you'll startle the birds and maybe crack an egg. As it is, one of the eggs has fallen out.
Oh, no.
And that was probably the hoe that came in and laid her eggs in there.
Yeah, she killed one to make room for the other.
Yeah, we need a little room here
for an omelet.
Anyway, if you know anything about that, and I think the Cooperative Extension lady probably would be able to help us on this. She might know something. Let me break quickly, and we'll talk to Utica Fire Chief Scott Ingersoll on the 2 fires yesterday and battling fires in the middle of mid-90-degree temperatures with a heat index of over 100 degrees.
Not fun.
We'll get to it coming up.
Summer is here, and it's time to fill your days with family fun. With the Seize the Deal 2024 Summer Fun Card, enjoy 9 amazing attractions at an unbeatable price for just $99. The Seize the Deal Summer Fun Card offers unique and exciting attractions for you and your family. 9 great summer adventures for only $99, including Sidekicks Karate Wellness. Get 1 month of classes for 1 child. The Sidekicks Karate Wellness team teaches children physical techniques, as well as confidence and focus that goes beyond the realm of kicking and punching. The Family Fun Factory. Admission for a family of 4. Allow your child's imagination to run wild in their 2 playgrounds at the Family Fun Factory. From the slides and trampolines to the obstacles, your child will have endless fun. Pins. Bowl 1 game of bowling for a family of 4 and $10 arcade card per person. Come knock down some pins with the family at Pins Bowl. With colorful lanes, comfy seating, arcade games, and more. Make this summer one to remember and get over $600 in savings with the 2024 Summer Fun Card. Limited number available, so get yours now for just $99. $99 at seizethedeal.com.
Hi, this is Rob Hilton of Hilton Estate and Elder Law with important information that you should know about planning for nursing home care. Well, the best way, of course, is to plan ahead. The key is to make sure that you make decisions far ahead of the time that you need a nursing home. Getting the basic pieces in place, including power of attorney, healthcare proxy, will, trust, all those things, and working closely with your family to make sure you're organized and ready to go in case the worst happens. You should also know there are strategies you can employ, even if you currently have a loved one in a nursing home. When there's a crisis and someone's entered a nursing home, there are things we can do to act very quickly to protect some of the assets. It really does require that an elder law attorney be involved because the techniques that are used are very technical in nature. To find out more about strategies to protect your loved ones through proper estate planning, contact us at Hilton Estate and Elder Law. Call for more information and to schedule an in-person meeting to answer your questions.
Hilton, you know the name, they know the law. Hilton Estate and Elder Law.
Looking for the perfect ride this summer for family road trips? Then stop on in to Steed Pawnee Chevy in Herkimer. With these unbeatable deals and the buying experience you deserve, you can drive the 2024 Malibu RS with remote start and driver safety package with finance rates as low as 1.9%. Or you can lease the new Chevy Blazer EV, all-wheel drive LT with a panoramic sunroof. Lease it for just $436 per month for 24 months with 10,000 miles per year. Customers must qualify with top-tier credit through GM Financial. Offers are available on select models only. Lease offers require a current eligible non-GM lease in the household. See salesperson for details. All taxes, fees, and the first payment are due on delivery. Visit Steed Pawnee Chevy on Route 28 in Herkimer or online anytime at SteedPawneeChevy.com. Hurry, these offers end June 30th, 2024. Together, let's drive with Steed Pawnee Chevrolet. Stop in and see why it's always easy to do business at Steed Pawnee Chevrolet.
Rodney Atkins, June 20th, 7:30 p.m. at the Stanley Theater. Get your tickets now at the Stanley Theater box office or online at thestanley.org. Spectacular 4th of July savings at My Carl's. Reclining sofas from $4.99, bedrooms from $5.99, queen mattresses as low as $1.99. Only at My Carl's in the New Hartford Shopping Center. Spectacular 4th of July savings at My Carl's. Reclining sofas from $4.99, bedrooms from $5.99, queen mattresses as low as $1.99. Only at My Carl's in the New Hartford Shopping Center.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Hey, Mike this morning says Trump has warned about these birds. These migrant birds, they come in uninvited. They take advantage of the legal owners of the nest. These birds are not sending their best to your front door.
No, they are not. No, they're not.
Be aware. Be aware. Coming up, somebody sent me this list. I think it's a good one. Complaints, common complaints by baby boomers. What are you complaining about today if you are technically a baby boomer?
Well, probably another generation.
I believe there's probably a lot of that going on. Yeah, we'll get to that coming up. Chief Scott Ingersoll on the line right now, Utica Fire Department. Chief, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys.
So I guess right off the bat, I'll ask you, it cannot be easy to fight a fire with all that gear on and a heat index of over 100 degrees.
No, and it definitely has an impact on anyone that would be doing that operation. But, yeah, I always say that I'd rather go to a fire in the cold than when it's too hot out. And yesterday and last night definitely reaffirmed that.
Yeah.
Well, and it's, there's some days that you go probably, you're always busy, right? We've talked to you about this before, whether it's possible gas leak or if somebody's basement's flooding or, a medical emergency. So it's always a busy time for the Utica Fire Department. But there's days probably you go 1 or 2 days without any structure fire. But then here we go, 95 with a heat index of 103, and you've got 2 fires that you have to battle. The timing probably couldn't have been worse yesterday.
No, it definitely could not have been. And, we get through those fires, and they have to be ready to go for another one, too. So that's where, fitness and hydration comes into play, and making sure that we get enough personnel on scene early on to the fire so we can relieve the guys doing the work and get them rehydrated and ready to go again.
So what is a common cause of during heat waves? What is a common cause of fires? In the wintertime, oftentimes you're dealing with
candles,
heating your home
yeah.
in some way, but in the summertime,
Space heaters.
When you're in the middle of a heat wave, what's the common cause of these fires?
So I would say there's definitely a lot of overloaded extension cords that we find as far as air conditioners. Some of the houses that we go to, their electrical systems aren't up to date, and so when we start putting a lot of extra load onto that system, you tend to overheat things quickly. And then when we're running extension cords, and maybe they're not there's different gauges of extension cords too. So there's ones that are meant for appliances. There's ones that are really lightweight that should only be used to plug in a lamp or something.
Mm-hmm.
And when we have larger air conditioners plugged into really light-duty electrical extension cords, that becomes a big issue.
Yeah, and a lot of times too, people have old extension cords that have been around since the 60s.
They're like the brown ones that only have they don't even have the ground in them.
Yeah,
no ground on it. We still have a lot of people that rip the ground prong out of the extension cord as well. Because the house doesn't have grounded outlet. So we find that as well. Yesterday, one of the fires is definitely going to be attributed to a bathroom ceiling, a ceiling fan in the bathroom that seized up, overheated, and it didn't help that there was some sort of critter that got in there and started building a nest.
So
you got to watch it,
side of things as well. So that. And interestingly enough, that's probably the fourth fire that we've had this year that's going to be attributed to a bathroom ceiling fan.
Wow. Well, it's funny because we have the home was built in the 90s, but we have a ceiling fan that just doesn't sound right, and I have a feeling like I probably should replace both of those fans.
Yeah, I would say that probably be a good idea. The bearings start seizing up in the bathroom exhaust fans, and it causes the motors to overheat. And the thing is that you don't know what's going on above that ceiling,
right?
And it's in an unprotected space, right? So if it's between the first and second floor, or maybe it's on the second floor and it has direct access into the attic area, which is similar to the cause of the fire that we had at Gilmore Village back in April.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right.
And so bathroom fans aren't meant to run 24/7 either. So we find some issues that people just leave them on all the time.
There are ones you can get now. There are ones you can get now that they're almost moisture or humidity sensing ones, where if you have the light on and the switch on and you get into the shower, it doesn't turn on until the steam starts to build up in the house. And then it'll shut off when it's done.
We used to have a smoke detector that would go off when it got steamy in the.
Really?
Yeah, weird. Okay, and dryers. You got it. You're drying clothes. You haven't cleaned out that dryer vent. These are all things that could cause a fire in the summertime.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, I can't imagine what it's like for you guys out there, Chief, when you're in that gear.
Well, and two of the firefighters yesterday, one with heat stress and one with a sprained ankle, had to be, evaluated and treated, and they were released at Wynn Hospital. So, thank you for what you guys do.
These, the men and women of the fire department and fire service in general, they really go above and beyond, and. On days like yesterday and today, when it's really warm out for us, it's definitely a different challenge.
All right, Chief, we appreciate the time, and thank you guys for what you do.
Yeah, all right, thank you.
All right, have a great day. Chief Scott Ingersoll with the Utica Fire Department. I mentioned baby boomers. I find the older you get, and the baby boomers are now kind of getting into the age where they're a little bit older, depending on which side of the spectrum you're on.
Right.
When it comes to being a baby boomer, but there are plenty of boomer complaints out there, and the complaints are oftentimes about Gen Z, Gen X, and millennials literally are part of the problem.
Yeah, see, I knew it. Blaming the world's problems.
So you want to
us.
hear some of maybe you have some of your own, but these are some of the complaints that baby boomers have. Mega-sized paper towels and toilet paper rolls are annoying because they don't fit the toilet paper holder. I mean, that's true.
Oh, yeah. That's not a baby boomer complaint, by the way.
Household appliances don't need Bluetooth. What do you need Bluetooth on a household appliance for? Depending on the appliance. How about bringing back movie stubs? It would be nice if movie tickets were tickets again, so you can keep the stubs as a nice memory of the time you went to see a good movie.
Oh, please.
You know, today, concert tickets, although I will say one of my most prized treasures is the Woodstock ticket.
Well, that's,
or the ticket when the Mets went to the World Series, Game 7 of the World Series.
Those kind of tickets.
1886.
But like, I got my ticket for when Titanic premiered in 1995.
Titanic was a big deal. So were the Star Wars movies. Concerts should start on time. Should start on the time that it says on the ticket. We've been here for an hour.
Well, that's the thing about concerts is the start time might be 7:30, but that's when the opener goes on, and then they play for like 45 minutes, and then it takes them another hour and a half for the main act to come on.
This person says my boomer complaint is songs that are only 2 minutes long. That's not a song. You must be over 2 minutes to be a song. Movie trailers. You know, they say the movie's going to start at 7:10. I get there, and there's 15 minutes of movie trailers.
Which actually is a convenient thing for me anytime I'd go to the movies.
You ever watch
We're running late, damn it.
Some of the old movie trailers of the movies from like the 60s and 70s?
Yeah.
Completely different style of movie trailer.
RCO presents
Yes.
drama, fun-filled.
Oh, I don't know if you think that. There she goes again. It is. They're not like that today. Dogs should be on leashes. New devices should come with the cord and plug for charging.
I know. What's
I
up
do
with
think
that?
that shouldn't be we should all be complaining about that.
Yeah.
Yes, you bought the device, but it doesn't come with a cord.
Be sure to write your congressman.
Loud cars and motorcycles should be banned.
Oh, yeah, I can agree with that.
You know, it should be illegal to blow your mowing clippings right into the street. Everything doesn't need to be in 4K. That's a complaint. A baby boomer complaint, you shouldn't be able to record strangers in public places. Well, that's done a lot today.
Yeah.
And one of my favorites is people need to stop talking in movie theaters. That's not why you're supposed to be quiet.
Or ruffling your candy wrapper.
You know, these kids these days, first of all, they shouldn't even have those types of wrappers in a movie theater anyway. Here you're trying to open it quietly and you can't even do it. Next hour, Hobica's free money question of the day. We'll find out from Davey what the amount is. We'll give you a chance to win the air conditioner as well. We'll talk more about winning New York Sash windows coming up as well on WIBX.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/radio. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at HIMS, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/radio and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free. with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome,
W295EI,
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
President Biden is back on top. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, leading former President Trump in a new Fox News poll for the first time since October, as the president goes to Camp David today to prep for their debate a week from today.
President Biden is ahead of former President Trump in the Fox News poll by 2 points. The president's favored by women, specifically white women with college degrees, urban voters, and those over 65. Former President Trump is favored by men, white men without college degrees, and evangelical voters. Independents favor President Biden by 9 points. Fox pollsters say a shift in how voters feel about the economy may be playing a role. 32% say the economy is in good or fair shape. That is up 15 points from a low point in July 2 years ago.
That's Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. We could get a Supreme Court ruling today on a big Trump case. The former president's claim he should be immune from prosecution for official acts while he was in office. It's one of more than 20 cases that justices have yet to decide this term. We'll get rulings today and tomorrow. A new Louisiana law may end up at the Supreme Court.
The new law requires the 10 Commandments be displayed poster-sized in an easily readable font in every Louisiana public school classroom, kindergarten through state-funded colleges starting next year. Court challenges are expected. A similar law, enacted in Kentucky in 1980, was struck down by the U.S. Supreme Court as unconstitutional.
Fox's Jack Callahan. The first tropical storm of the Atlantic season, Alberto, is about to make landfall near Tampico, Mexico. Its heavy rains have also drenched South Texas, causing some flooding, while 2 wildfires keep scorching New Mexico, where 2 people have been killed. More than 1,400 structures burned.
I could literally see flames. I could see structures, houses with flames kind of coming up behind them.
He lives in Rio Doso, where the entire town's been evacuated. Russian President Vladimir Putin's in Vietnam today, signing agreements the day after a trip to North Korea to strengthen their military alliance. Leader Kim Jong-un pledging full support for Russia's war in Ukraine. America's listening to Fox News.
All right, who's there for heroes or their families left behind when a service member or a first responder dies or is catastrophically injured in the line of duty? Who helps our country's homeless vets? I'll tell you who. It's the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. Never forget the sacrifices of our country's greatest heroes. They're hoping all of us will donate $11 a month. Just go to their website, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org, the letter T, number 2, letter T.org for the Tunnel to Towers Foundation.
Progressive presents 10 things on a contractor's to-do list that are harder than getting a commercial auto insurance quote. Bidding a new client, giving an accurate estimate, finding affordable materials, getting a client to pay you for work you already did, getting a client to pay you, period, securing permits and workers and tools, getting those workers and tools to work together, and finding the perfect pair of overalls. Pockets, baby. But the easiest thing on a small business owner's to-do list? Seeing if you can save on commercial auto insurance. Get a quote in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage subject to policy terms and conditions.
An American is on trial in Russia starting today. Ksenia Karolina, charged with treason. She's from Los Angeles and has dual Russian citizenship. So when she went back to visit family in February, Karolina was arrested, accused of raising money for a Ukrainian organization. Her boyfriend says she donated $50. Her trial is in the same court where an American journalist will also go on trial.
Evan Gershkovich was arrested on March 29, 2023. He only recently learned his closed-door trial will begin next week in Yekaterinburg, the city where he was detained. The reporter is accused of spying on a Russian military facility for the CIA. He and his employer, the Wall Street Journal, say that's not true. The U.S. has classified the 32-year-old as wrongfully detained and the charges ridiculous. According to the Kremlin, the two governments have been in contact about a possible prisoner swap. There's no word, though, on how close a deal might be. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
A migrant in the U.S. illegally has been arraigned in New York, where the Post reports he admits to prosecutors he raped a 13-year-old girl in a park last week, even recorded it.
Christian Inga Landy is being held on charges of predatory sexual assault and other counts, to include rape and kidnapping. He was detained by Queens, New York residents who identified him from video footage and held him until authorities arrived. Queens DA Melinda Katz praised residents for reacting.
I am thankful that the community responded. We got the arrest within a day or two. I want to thank NYPD, by the way. They got the word out. They got the picture out.
Police say Inga Landy, who is from Ecuador, was in the country illegally. DA Katz says there was an immigration warrant out for him.
That's Fox's Gernal Scott. On Wall Street, stock futures are rising after a Juneteenth holiday break. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Good morning. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM News Time 7:05. I'm Andrew Dominio. 74 degrees under cloudy skies. It will heat up. Your full weather forecast in minutes. This update brought to you by the new Destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. The Utica Fire Department was busy yesterday in the heat battling two blazes. Utica Fire Chief Scott Ingersoll said the first fire broke out Wednesday morning just before 10 a.m. at an address on Leslie Avenue in South Utica. The Leslie Ave fire was reported at 9:48. With the fire confined to the bathroom and the ceiling area of the first floor, there was heavy smoke damage to the second floor from the fire. 4 adults and 3 cats were displaced by the blaze. The second fire broke out later in the day on Louisa Street. Scott Ingersoll says the fire was reported at 8:34 p.m. when companies arrived. They found heavy smoke coming from the first and second floors of the structure. Heavy fire was burning in the rear of the first floor, with fire extending into the second floor. Firefighters were able to control the fire and complete searches of the structure. All occupants were accounted for. There were no injuries. In the first fire, 2 firefighters were sent to Wynn Hospital for evaluation, treatment, and were released. One for heat stress, the other for a sprained ankle. Speaking of the heat, yet another day of hot and humid weather is on tap for the central New York region today. A heat advisory that's been in place since Tuesday is currently expected to expire at 8 p.m. tonight, but before that, temperatures will once again be in the 90s, with a heat index surging past 100 degrees. State parks will be open free of charge today, so people have a place where they can go to cool off. A man is being treated at Wynn Hospital for a gunshot injury. Utica police say responders were called to the area of Winter Avenue and Whitesboro Street, where they found a male victim suffering gunshot wounds to the lower extremities. The victim was taken to the hospital and his injuries were deemed non-life-threatening. The Major Crimes Unit is investigating the incident, and anyone is asked, and they're asking anyone with information to please call them or to send a completely anonymous tip to Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers, 1-866-730-8477. And a star's 3,000-year-old explosion will be visible from Earth soon. NASA scientists call it a once-in-a-lifetime event. The explosion will be visible for a few days between now and September, burning bright enough to appear as a new star in the sky. A light year is the distance light travels in 1 year. So scientists have concluded the so-called blaze star explosion happened 3,000 years ago. It is 7:08. Your weather forecast is brought to you by Adirondack Home Furniture.
Here's the latest from the WIBX Weather Center for today. Partly cloudy early. Some potentially severe thunderstorms. High near 90 degrees. Tonight, chance of thunderstorms. Some of those could be severe. Low 68. And tomorrow, severe thunderstorms possible. Storms could have gusty winds. Otherwise, partly sunny skies. High 83. That's the latest. I'm Mike Johnson for WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Right now, 74 degrees under cloudy skies. It is 7:08. Sports brought to you by IBEW NECA 43 local contractors. The Yankees have dropped 3 of their last 4 games after falling to the Baltimore Orioles 7-6 in 10 innings in a disappointing fashion. Garrett Cole making his return this season, striking out 5 but giving up 2 runs on 3 hits over 4 innings of work. Clay Holmes was tagged with the loss, obviously being a loser. After allowing 2 runs, one of them earned over an inning of relief, Giancarlo Stanton led the way at the plate and kept the Yankees in the game in both extra innings in the bottom of the 9th. He hit a 3-run home run and 4 RBIs in the game. New York still leads the AL East at 51-25, but will need to win this afternoon's rubber match to keep a comfortable distance between them and the Orioles. The Mets were unable to...
because the World Series is this weekend. I mean,
listen,
you
every
got to make the
game
playoffs.
counts. Every game counts. And this is a team we'll be playing in the playoffs. In the last 2 series, they've really eaten our lunch, or whatever the expression is.
You're not going to win every game. You're not going to be on a winning streak every
It's not
week.
about the winning streak.
All right.
It's about the fact that when you play a competitive team and your only option at the closing position is Clay Holmes, and the last 2 games, he's given up significant runs. You know what the stat was?
And the trading deadline is coming up soon.
Yes, and we are going to need to take advantage of that because in the last 2 games, he's given up 6 runs.
Oh, boy.
In 2 innings.
Yeah, you guys
That's
are
the stats.
in trouble.
Well, the Mets were unable to extend their winning streak
That is
to
true.
8. After falling to the Texas Rangers 5-3 in their series finale at Globe Life Field, they are
Richard
fourth in
is
the
already
NL East.
telling me they're a horrible team. They're playing nobody.
Don't take your frustrations against Richard.
That's fine.
Out on me.
I'm just saying they'll be in the playoffs.
New York is 4th in the NL East right now at 35-38. They'll visit the Cubs for a 3-game series that begins tomorrow afternoon. I don't think the Cubs are playing that well, so that's a good opportunity to maybe make up some ground. That game will be tomorrow afternoon at Wrigley Field. What else do I have for you? The Oilers, they have a chance to do something only a couple of teams in hockey have ever accomplished. Edmonton is looking to even the best-of-7 Stanley Cup Final Series at 3 games apiece when the puck drops for Game 6 at Rogers Place Friday night. The Oilers are coming off a close win with the Panthers in Sunrise, where Connor McDavid netted a pair of goals, which included an empty netter to secure the victory. The Oil are trying to become just the 3rd team ever to force a Game 7 in Cup Final history after trailing 3-0. WIBX 950 News Time, 7:11.
Okay, a couple things. Megan this morning is saying that they're a parasitic species like the cuckoo. You also can't remove the eggs because the cowbirds will check on them, and if they're gone, they'll destroy the nest.
Oh, my gosh.
Killing the finch eggs. And yeah, this is crazy.
You're learning a lot.
I just don't understand because we don't live in like the woods. I don't understand it. Why we're getting all these animals. This is turning into some sort of a Marlon Perkins Mutual Omaha Wild Kingdom in our backyard. It's crazy.
You got to get a little hat.
Here's Wayne. Good morning, Wayne. Good morning.
Hey, guys, all you need to do, Bill, I mean, your wife won't like it, but you need to get yourself more of them spraying cats to hang around and a couple of them fake owls.
That's a very good point.
Away.
That's a very good point. I mean, right now there's a sign we can't open the door. We can't open the door. It's going to be another 2 or 3 weeks. It's just unbelievable.
We had these same problems. We had wreaths up, and because she's one of them crafters, I got to have this craft up, and I got to have, and we had the shade that you pull down so that you could blind out the neighbors, and they were making nests on top of every ledge they could find. One of them even set up in my mailbox one day within hours. I went to reach for my mail, and the mailbox was loaded, and I blamed it on my son. I'm like, what, are you playing a joke on me?
Yeah.
He goes, no. I look back on my camera. They built a nest in my mailbox in the matter of hours.
Wow.
Yeah, it is. It's amazing how quickly they go. So, all right, Wayne. Thanks, man.
Hey, you know what? It's so hot that they're lining the local sewers to swim. I've seen everybody lining the Sequoia Creek. They were parking over by U-Haul. People were swimming in the Sequoia Creek.
That's funny. Wayne, you have a wonderful day. Stay cool today.
Later.
Stay cool. All right. Here's John on the birds. Hello, John.
Hey, Bill, I got a question for you.
All right, yeah.
I come home from work. There's 4 baby birds. Their eyes ain't open, and they're just little fur feather on them. And I can see maybe 1 falling out of the nest, 2, but not 4. So I'm wondering, I tried looking it up, and it says a cockaroo or what. I don't have them birds, I don't think, but would another bird knock the 4 out?
I don't know.
There's no way 4 birds would have fell out of the nest. That's what I'm,
so
what I mean?
it could have been a squirrel knocked them out or something like that too, right? Or they jumped
we got
out.
a chipmunk. The squirrels are pretty much, Leo took care of them.
Okay, that's good.
But
That'll help.
But
and then what are you
throw that
supposed
out
to do?
there.
Are you supposed to try to incubate them? And because you're probably at the stage right now where the bird just sits there with its mouth open.
Yeah, just waiting for
they
food.
They were, Bill, and
Yeah.
they were on the floor, and I go, well, I can't put them back. I don't know what to do with them because there was another bird that took, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. All I know
Mother
is
Nature, that's what
this
Mother Nature's
is turning into a. I don't know. This is all global warming.
Yeah,
Everything's
okay.
changing. I don't know what's
Yeah.
going on.
Hey,
all right.
Hey,
Thank you,
have a
Wayne.
good day, Bill. Thanks.
It's nice to have a backyard that you live in and you work on, or a front door to your house. But I mean, these are the creatures that cause you. Oh, they're so beautiful. Yeah, they're a pain though to deal with.
They are.
It's terrible. Mike and Skyler, good morning.
Hey, so Andrew, you might have put me in a position to defend Boom, but let's see. You said
let's
had
hear it.
issues
I can't wait to
off-
hear this, Mike. Let's hear
So-
it.
All right, quickly, Andrew hates Aaron Boone, thinks he does not know how to manage, and go ahead.
Believe me.
Yeah.
I used to say all the time, fire him. This year, I'm not really saying that much because the team is doing good. Overall, the team is doing good.
Yes.
But last night, do you feel the decision, were you upset about like taking Cole out a little bit earlier, or are you looking more about
Cole's not the issue. You expected the fact that Garrett Cole was going to be limited on his pitch count as he's just coming off an injury. The problem I have
okay with that?
The problem I have, okay, you take out Gonzalez. He's got 2 outs, just a man on first. You take him out and you put Canely in, and Canely blows up and gets all nervous. And then I think they got
Stanley, and that was before Stanton, right? Did Stanton get the home run?
Before
yet?
Stanton got the home run.
Okay.
So
what
you
is it going to
take
be
out-
like when you guys are going at it in September? when there's really a
we'll have to handle
deadline.
all this early in the 6 o'clock.
I do have to say though, these are good things when things go bad in June and you handle them. When things go bad even in July and you handle them, and by the way, you're 20 games over 500, 25 games over 500, whatever. These are important things. You have to have bad moments, make mistakes, have issues and problems in order to learn so that you don't have
problem is
those.
Boone doesn't learn
in October.
You got to put him in. But here's the thing.
But then, hold on, Mike, one more thing. And then you want to talk about pulling Trent Grisham, who's been playing the whole game when bases are loaded, for a guy that hasn't hit since May? When he put Jahmai Jones in? What was that?
I know.
You never know those decisions.
I know, you make these decisions. You get people, and I understand that. But then Stanton, when he gets that 3-run home run, it erases everything, right? And now we have a game. And then Clay Holmes, they put him in the 9th, right? Is it the 9th?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what about that decision? How do you feel about that?
I'm going to leave you both to be able to ponder on this, and we'll to be continued tomorrow.
Bill's sick of it.
Yes. All right. I've had enough.
Well, what were you thinking, Andrew, about putting Holmes in?
Anytime bringing Holmes in is a terrible decision.
All right.
That's my answer
And
to
here's the thing. And you're right, because I'm more mad at Holmes than Boone, because here's the thing: he's the closer. You have to be able to put him in.
Listen,
You're paying
though,
him to go in there.
sometimes you've invested so much money in a closer.
Yeah.
And you've not only money, but you've invested, like, for instance, the Mets is a good example. You've invested your entire season in getting Diaz back, and he just became horrible. He was losing game after game, and I'm thinking, why are you putting him back in? And then all of a sudden, it got out of his head. Whatever was haunting him in his head, he got rid of it, and he's pitching really well now. And you need the closer to be able to move forward. So unless you're going to go get another closer, and there aren't that many great ones out there.
Well, there's one in Oakland, but as Smitty says, it's going to be difficult.
All right, Mike. I'm rolling. I'm moving on.
That's where we're at.
Okay. Thank you, man. Thank you.
No problem.
I want to stay with baseball if we could. Mike Pagano is a Utica resident who has a pretty cool Willie Mays story. Of course, we learned this week that Willie Mays has passed away at the age of 93. Lived a long life and is considered to be, if not the greatest, at least one of the top 3 players to ever play the game. And Mike Pagano is on the line right now. Mike, good morning.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Good. Good morning. I can't wait to hear your story.
So, anyways, I being a big Cincinnati Reds fan is probably one of the biggest in Central New York. I had the opportunity to meet George Foster and pretty much have lunch with him and spend some quality time with him because I have family down in Southern Ohio and been to a couple ball games down there and everything. So anyways, long story short, during a conversation that I had with him, I asked him, he kind of gave me some inside stories, and he says one of the most traumatic and disappointing things of his career was when he was traded from the San Francisco Giants to the Reds. And it kind of, as a young kid, it kind of shook him up a little bit. And he was on the team with Bobby Bonds, Willie McCovey, and, of course, Willie Mays. So he was bummed out. He gets traded. He goes to Cincinnati expecting that cold shoulder of newcomers to a team. And, of course, at the time in 1971, the Reds were pretty much establishing the Big Red Machine, right? So there was a lot of all-stars on the team. So he goes into the clubhouse on the first day, and the guys are all welcoming him with open arms, and he couldn't really quite understand it because usually that's not a typical greetings from newcomer to the team.
Yeah.
Well, a few years later, so they embraced him the whole time. So a couple years later, he asked Pete Rose, he said, hey, he says, why did you guys ever, give me that rookie hazing type thing, and why did you pretty much welcome me with open arms? He says, well, we never really wanted to tell you this, but Willie Mays had called Pete Rose during the transition of the trade, and he said, hey, listen, he says, this kid, he's a good kid. He's going to be a good ball player. He says, don't give him pretty much a hard time. Welcome him with open arms, and that's pretty much the influence of Willie Mays that he had to the Cincinnati Reds organization, and they welcomed George Foster with open arms.
That's wild.
Yeah, that's just the type of guy.
He was everything you hear about him. He was just a wonderful. Really was even when somebody would say to him, how do you react when people say you're the greatest player of all time? And he said, I don't go there. It's not something that he just loved the game and was really a decent human being.
So throughout his career, as George explained to me, throughout his career, Willie Mays continued to be George's mentor, even though he did play for the part of the Big Red Machine. He used to lean on Willie Mays periodically for advice and guidance and
listen, let's not forget being a black man in the 60s and early 70s in baseball. You were a pioneer at that point. Still.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And did George Foster ever say that his favorite season of all was in '86 when he played for the Mets?
You know what? He did talk about that, but I'm not going to touch that. But
wow, the drugs and everything going on in that dugout. Oh boy.
No, well, George he wasn't involved with any of that.
I'm sure he was not.
Involved.
Yeah.
He was misquoted in the New York newspaper about something, and they kind of ran with it, and that's pretty much what forced George out of New York and out of the game.
Wow.
Unfortunately.
Wow.
But,
I guess I didn't remember that story. That's wild, but great.
Well, it was a racial thing.
Okay.
And George is just on a side note. He's one of the funniest, nicest guys you ever wanted to meet, and he's very humble and he lives outside of Cincinnati currently, and he does a lot of he's engaged with a lot of youth, and he's also he still coaches some various baseball teams in the greater Cincinnati area. So
well, I'll leave you to work with Andrew to get him on the radio for an interview. That would be really cool.
Well, you never know.
You never know.
The interesting thing is that if many people had known his relationship with Willie Mays, they may not have thought that this racial comment that he made had any legitimacy to it.
Well, the point is, it never really had legitimacy. The New York media just one little drop of water, and they ran with it and turned it out to be some big thing, which really wasn't.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, a little bit taken back, and he was kind of heartbroken by the whole thing because he knows who he is as a character of a man,
Right,
so.
right. Oh, you know that he was black. George Foster's black. So, yeah. So, all right, wild. We're waiting to hear from you on this one, Mike.
Okay, one last thing.
Yes.
Go Bills.
Go Bills. I'm with you on that.
He's
I'm with
already
you there.
looking forward to the season.
All right, Mike.
Andrew, you don't have to comment on that. Only Bill can comment on that.
Me and Davey are with you 100%. So
There
all
you
right,
go.
Good
All right,
stuff.
buddy.
Thank you.
Be
All right,
good.
Mike. Thanks.
All right, Mike Pagano of Utica with a great story. And how amazing it is. We have a lot of that, and we don't even realize it. You have people who are friends with a sports celebrity or a celebrity and keep it on the kind of the down low. They don't really talk about it, but these celebrities are people too. They have friends who aren't celebrities as well. Although Mike Pagano is a celebrity.
Just ask anybody.
Especially
in Utica.
as a Bills fan. I got a break. Hold on tight. We're coming right back.
Step into the magic of the 2024 Glimmerglass Festival, where summer comes alive with the finest in opera and musical theater.
The Glimmerglass Festival is a world-class summer celebration of the arts nestled on the banks of beautiful Otsego Lake, just minutes from Cooperstown, making it an easy day trip from anywhere in the Mohawk Valley.
This year's festival runs from July 22nd through August 20th and invites you to immerse yourself in myth, mystery, and adventure with productions that explore the connection between identity and illusion.
From the timeless hilarity of Gilbert and Sullivan's The Pirates of Penzance to the gripping drama of Pagliacci.
Celestial escapades of La Callisto and intriguing mystery of Elizabeth Cree. Experience the magic firsthand.
The Glimmerglass Festival, a highlight of your summer experiences in the Cooperstown region. Hiking, kayaking, picnicking, and world-class opera and musical theater. Just a short drive from anywhere in the Mohawk Valley.
Visit glimmerglass.org to purchase tickets and to learn more about this year's festival. Then join us and see for yourself why there's no place quite like Glimmerglass.
Hi, this is Rob Hilton of Hilton Estate and Elder Law with important information that you should know regarding your estate planning. Specifically, you should have prepared what is known as the Big Three. Basic estate planning is comprised of the three main documents that you need. First is the will, next is the healthcare proxy, and last is the power of attorney. What most people don't know is how important of the three the power of attorney really is, because New York State has no simple method for you to act on another's behalf if they become incapacitated. I am often asked, what is probate and why is it needed? Probate is the act of administering the will through the New York State court system. It requires a filing fee and other actions to be taken as well as a petition to be filed. It is time-consuming and can be expensive. It can be avoided by using a living trust. To find out more about strategies to protect your loved ones through proper estate planning, contact us at Hilton Estate and Elder Law. Call for more information and to schedule an in-person meeting to answer your questions.
Hilton, you know the name. They know the law. Hilton Estate and Elder Law.
Need a great deal on a bed and low on cash? Come to Mattress Express, put no money down, take up to 60 months to pay for qualified buyers on anything in the store. Massage chairs, mattresses, etc. $1,500 or higher.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Okay. So every week we do the Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers Wanted Person of the Week. And on the line right now is Scott Hogue from the Rome PD. Scott, good morning. Thanks so much for coming on.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So I don't know that I got this week's release in my email. And I'll give you to Davey afterwards, and then maybe we can figure out what email it was sent with, so that I can pull it up and get it up on our website. But I appreciate the call. Scott, what do we have? Who is our wanted person of the week this week?
This week we're interested in finding Jonathan C. as in Charles Only. He's a 27-year-old male, 6 foot tall, 150 pounds. Jonathan Only is wanted on 2 separate Rome City Court arrest warrants. Both arrest warrants are for felony warrants for burglary in the 3rd degree. Both incidents occurred in the month of October 2023 on 2 separate occasions, where Only entered the same local business and stole property therein. Only has no known address, but is believed to be in the Utica-Rome area.
Okay. So we're seeing this happen a lot more, right? Where there'll be a shoplifting incident, and then the same thing happens the next day and the day after that.
Yeah.
It's just surreal to see this happening.
Once they see a target they can take advantage of, it's like going back to the well.
I'm assuming you guys are seeing that, Scott.
Yes, but this isn't shoplifting. This is They go in after the business is closed.
Okay.
Smash the front window, go in, grab whatever they can, damage property, and really puts a burden on the
business owner. Yeah. Yep. Okay. All right. We'll have the complete story up on our website. I want you, if you could, Scott, hang on for a second, and Davey will give you an email address to make sure that we're in the same. That I get a copy of that release. So, if you don't mind, stand by. We thank you for your service, and remind people that Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers is a great organization. Everything is done anonymously, and as a matter of fact, Tim Reed is in here right now. We just voted on giving a reward, a cash reward, out to somebody who recently reacted to one of these moments here on the radio. A wanted person of the week. So it's important.
That's awesome.
Scott, thank you. Stand by, okay?
Thank you, sir.
All right, thanks. Scott Hogue from the Rome Police Department. Davey, if you could work that out. Tim Reed, good morning.
Well, good morning, Bill.
Well, hello, Tim. So stand by. We're going to do a little something with Real Men Get Tested coming up here in a minute. This morning, Davey is, I'm just going to say he's on the line. I'm just going to say it's $200 today. So without making a bike at two. This is not bad.
Is possibly $300.
Most days we're looking at $200 or more.
Or more, yeah.
This has been a big improvement, and Hobica seems to not be.
It's for the good mood that it's summer and the warmer weather.
He's not shouting at us.
Has your mom taken the lint out of her dryer?
I think she's.
No fires.
You have to. Yeah.
She's got it all set. The lint vent has been cleaned, and we are ready to go.
The clothespins kind of help break up any lint.
They do.
Dust.
They do. Every once in a while, though, I have the biggest problem with ours. So we had a dryer that was older, and we're like, you know what? This thing is probably was purchased in the 80s, and it went down. And instead of getting it fixed, we replaced it. What a mistake!
Yep.
Because that dryer was so hot and worked so well. Now we get a new one.
And they'll last forever, the old ones.
The new one will last all of 2 years.
It's unbelievable. So, God forbid if you have a change in your pocket, or, I'm working outside, I've got a screw in my pocket, and it comes out in the dryer, you're done. I don't even know how I did this, but I pulled the whole drum out. In order to get a screw.
Because it would be the maddening sound that would...
The screw, and it was causing a friction. It probably could have started a fire. And, if a little bit of lint gets in there, it just shuts off.
Well, the lint's good to help the bird's nest.
It is.
It's good bedding.
Exactly.
Tim, it's unbelievable. I don't know what to do. This is like... And they're going to come back again and lay eggs again through the summer? I feel like it's time to cook these eggs.
Yeah, I was going to say, like omelets.
This is breakfast here.
Yeah.
All right, stand by. We'll get to all of it coming up in a second. And again, so Hobica's free money question of the day. We're looking at $200. $200. Plus a chance at $100 on the consolation Londro lottery. So we'll do all of that coming up. So stand by. Get ready to call in. We'll also take some calls on the air conditioner giveaway, which is going to be given away tomorrow. There are a few degrees that I think could still be relevant.
Yeah.
It all really depends on how if this storm rolls through tonight and we're dealing with a really cooling thunderstorm that changes everything and the temperatures drop by 10 degrees.
Yeah, we have Don, John, Rob, Christine, Tammy, Donna, Mike, Dale, Jake, Eric, and John.
WKTV is reporting today that the last night's overnight low is a record for overnight. It was 75 degrees was the overnight low.
Whoa.
In Utica. That's the hottest it has ever been as long as they've been doing records.
I'm just so glad we have central air.
It was.
I'm telling you, that's a game
changer. But even
that,
central air is the best. We have.
It cuts the humidity.
We can't get the central air upstairs properly. We don't have two zones. We're changing that. But so we do have a unit upstairs. It kind of cools off our bedroom when it's really
like supplemental
cool.
air conditioning.
Yeah. Which, that's costing you a ton of money.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, but then it gets too cold. Those units and they're loud. And, you just can't it's just not good for a good night's sleep. So, but when it's 75 degrees out at 2 a.m., that's hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we'll talk with it. Davey, we're going with $200 for the Habaika Free Money question of the day. Want to tell you about Incera's Flooring Outlet. If you're in need of flooring, Incera's Flooring Outlet is the place to go. Whatever type of flooring you're looking for. If it's Pergo Extreme by Mohawk, you know you're getting the 60-mile radius price guarantee. You know you'll get the lowest price on Pergo Extreme by Mohawk within a 60-mile radius of their Marcy store, period. And that's just an amazing product. A deeper protection, a deeper warranty. It's dent-proof, waterproof, kid-proof, pet-proof. Only at Incera's Flooring Outlet will you get the Pergo Extreme price guarantee. And the largest inventory in all of Central New York. You'll see why more people buy from the big store. Go to their website, get a $50 off coupon, shop online or in the store, whether it's carpeting or linoleum, hardwoods, or the Pergo flooring you're looking for, tile. They have whatever it is you're looking for. And a lot of new products as well that look amazing, and they are durable. You can see it all with 6 months interest-free financing right now at Incera's Flooring Outlet, Route 49 Plaza, River Road, Marcy, and online at Incera'sFlooringOutlet.com. Davey, we're going with $200.
Yep, that's what I had written down.
You had it. Good. What caller number are we running with?
Caller 6.
All right, 6 caller right now. Caller number 6 at 315-736-0186. We'll do Habaika's Free Money question of the day, a little Laundra Lottery, and then we'll talk about Real Men Get Tested with Tim Reed, and a big announcement. I think it's pretty big. Probably pretty big.
I think it's pretty big.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Coming up at WIBX.
Say hello to Lumi, the whole-body deodorant developed with your whole body in mind. Pits, privates, and beyond. It's outrageously effective and clinically proven to block odor all day, anywhere you have body odor and wish you didn't, and keeps controlling odor up to 72 hours. Lumi is different. Developed by an OBGYN, Lumi goes beyond masking odor to control body odor in a way certain other deodorants and soap don't. Start controlling body odor everywhere, not just armpits. Experience whole-body freshness from Lumi Whole Body Deodorant today. Go to LumiDeodorant.com to be the best-smelling you of all time. There's a special offer for listeners. Use code 203 and get 15% off your first purchase with code 203. Like the Lumi Starter Pack, Acidified Body Wash, or new Lumi Plus Sweat Control. That's LumeDeodorant.com, code 203 for 15% off your first purchase. Love it or return it for free. That's LumeDeodorant.com, code 203 to save 15% today. LumeDeodorant.com.
The Utica Center for Development wants you to join the city of Utica's Independence Day Parade, sponsored by Master Vito Hyundai. Register for the parade, have fun, build a float, or just walk and show community support on July 4th. To register for the parade or to be a vendor for the 4th of July party in the park, sign up today at ucdevelopment.org. The City of Utica parades are brought to you by the Utica Center for Development, Master Vito Hyundai, Bank of Utica, and Save the Day Foundation.
Don't overpay for your next mattress. Only Mattress Express has our brand name low price guarantee. When you buy a mattress at Mattress Express, if you see it advertised locally in the next 30 days for less, we simply refund the difference. Do not overpay.
The IBEW Local 43 and the National Electrical Contractors Association have been a part of Central New York for over 100 years. The IBEW state-of-the-art training facility offers classroom instruction as well as everyday on-the-job construction training. From the Carrier Dome to our local hospitals, malls, schools, and city buildings, Central New York's future is bright, and the IBEW Local 43 will continue to help light, power, and grow our community.
IBEW Unica.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
right, I just had to make sure I had this question right before we ran with it.
It was in 72, by the way.
That's when it happened?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was a change then.
Yes.
All right. Okay. All right, Davey. Good morning, Davey. Good morning. Which caller is our caller? Is it going to be AJ from Frankfurt is our contestant. Okay. That's on this line. Hello, AJ. Good morning.
Good morning.
I got Davey's got a whole bunch of stuff going on. He's got like 5 lines.
He's overwhelmed in there.
He's overwhelmed. AJ, what are you doing today? Are you heading to work? Or are you just sitting at home?
Trying to keep cool.
Trying to keep cool. Good for you. We have one more day of this before things... I think the humidity is going to last into the weekend. But at least one more day of temperatures reaching 90 degrees. Pretty crazy. Okay, you know how the contest works. We ask you the question. You have 7 seconds to answer the question. And this morning we're playing for $200, okay?
Yes, sir.
Are you ready?
He's so excited. He's so excited.
All right, here we go. This is it for AJ in Frankfurt. This megastar's current middle name is Hercules. Who is the megastar? Ready, go.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Arnold Hercules.
Phenomenal guess.
Schwarzenegger. That was a really good guess.
My neighbor.
Turns out it is Elton John's official real middle name is Elton Hercules John. And that's something I did not know until this question popped up. He was born Reginald Kenneth Dwight back in 1947, but he's changed his name to Elton John. In 1972, it became Elton Hercules John. That is the name on his driver's license if he has one. I don't know that he has one.
Or he's probably got some sort of ID of some kind.
I'm sure he does. Yeah. Okay, Al, are you willing to go in and see if you can make $100 this morning?
Let's go.
All right, we're going to do what we call...
Seems like he wants the air conditioner.
Laundro Lottery. Okay, Al, you need one number between 1 and 30.
21.
21, I love that number.
Lucky 21.
Don't get it often, but I love the number. Here is my mom. Mom, good morning.
Good morning.
So the dryer is ready. It's one of those new. By the way,
I like the music.
Do you? She's thrown in
nice tune. Name that tune.
She has thrown in the clothespins. Now, Mom, this dryer. Does
add some fabric softener?
Add a little fabric. Maybe a sheet or two.
Yeah,
all right, Mom, let it go. Let it go. Here we go.
Little bounce.
A little bounce sheet.
Give it an extra jump.
All right, round and round it goes. By the way, you can put a comforter in this dryer. It's enormous.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right, Mom, we're going to pull out 3 numbers, Mom. What do we have?
22.
Oh, wow.
6.
Okay.
And the last number, 21.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yes.
Nice. Wow.
Yeah. Valley people take care of themselves. They're each other. I know how it works.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Al, congratulations. You've won $100. Boy, this Laundry Lottery thing is not cost effective for Hobica, is it?
Your mom's the Yolanda Vega of dryers.
All right, Mom. And just for everybody to know, if you ever would wonder, and she doesn't even really hear what he picks anyway, but she did there. You could tell by how she said 21. But my mother is like, would not, because God is watching. There would be, if it's
no lying,
if it's 21, it is 21. I can guarantee you. Right. All right, Mom. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Have a great day. All right. Thanks. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Well, how about that, AJ? Not
and the
bad.
last pull.
Yeah. Wow. All right, and pulling 22 and 21. That's
pretty
good.
awesome.
All right, you'll get $100 from Hobica, and stand by. We'll also give you the all-in-one food and fun card. Good at any of the Comets restaurants. Good at the Nexus Center. You could use it at Cookies,
which we went to Cookies last night. That peanut butter lovers sundae. Ooh boy!
They also have the half-gallon ice cream sundae over there as well. So stand by, and of course, Babes does brunch every Saturday and Sunday. Take advantage of that. Stand by. Davey's going to hook you up. Okay.
Thank you.
Great job, AJ. Thank you. Wow. I think that he did well with like the bounce lines and that sort of thing. Maybe there was a bounce sheet in there.
You know, knowing your parents and how ethical and honest,
that's what
or
I'm saying.
They are,
be
or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I think actually you were the child of a cowbird.
Somebody came to that nest and screwed it all up.
There he is.
So we're talking about the cowbird, and in the front door of our house, there's been a nest created by what we believe is either a singing bird or a finch, because it's the male is like orange, bright orange head. And the thing sitting in there is laying on the eggs, but it's laying on its 3 eggs, plus there are 2 additional larger ones that are spotted. And the word is, from people who know, it's from a cowbird, which I hate to say is really a dysfunctional mother. she'll lay the eggs, but she lays them in somebody else's nest and lets somebody else bring up her chicks.
Oh, boy.
And don't you? I mean, we've heard this story before.
We have.
Yeah. All right. So, Tim, good morning. If you could just talk a little bit about Real Men Get Tested, and then we'll give our news.
Sure. So, Real Men Get Tested was started by 2 individuals.
Two brilliant individuals.
I don't know. Whatever. Who both had dealt with 2 different forms of cancer. And
yours was prostate.
Yep, and
mine was colon cancer.
And after a conversation talking about how, as bad as cancer is, how fortunate it was for both of us that it was caught at a very early stage, totally treatable, and in remission for both of us, and that really to spread the word out to other men, because it's something that no one really likes to talk about. However, it's one of those things that, out of sight does not necessarily mean it's out of mind. And the longer that you wait on these sorts of things, the worst outcomes are.
And it is, I find that it is almost a natural, and maybe it's just men. Yeah. It's almost natural to be like, I'll deal with this tomorrow. Right. And then tomorrow comes and you're putting it off to another day. And before you know, you've gone on for weeks and weeks and months and months. And with these types of diseases, catching it early is key. And it's critical. I've heard from so many people like they'll never cure cancer. And because it's too profitable. Mm-hmm. So I was kind of, I don't believe that. Right. However, one of the things that I do think can happen is they maybe not cure it, but they'll find a way that you can, it's like what happened. They're not curing HIV and AIDS.
Right. You can live with it.
Keep it at a bay.
There's a medicine that you can live a full life with. And I think that is probably where we're seeing medicine go today.
Right.
So with that said, and the idea is we just simply want to promote get tested, because if you get tested, there's a very good chance, it's not always, there's still many terrible stories out there.
Right.
We've lost more people, I feel like, in the last couple of years to cancer than I can ever remember. So, I'll let you say it. I can't say it. I can't, I struggle with it.
So, Bill was dealing with some issues in regards to specifically fatigue, and
which we don't even think had anything to do with this. That's what they're telling me.
Right.
They're saying the fatigue is probably sleep apnea, and probably that I've had no symptoms, which is all the more reason for routine testing.
Right.
So sorry to put this on you.
Yeah,
Tim.
thanks.
Yeah.
So he went in for some blood work, and So the blood work pointed out that Bill was diagnosed with leukemia.
The good news is it is chronic myeloid leukemia, which since 2018, and think about it, we were just talking about this the other day, how timing is everything. And just think about the thousands of people who, for AIDS is a great example, the thousands and thousands of people who died of AIDS, and then they've come up with I don't want to call it a cure, but you can live with AIDS. You won't die from AIDS. It won't kill you. Right. But all those people before they came up with the cure died. Had they just been able to hold on longer, they would have lived. This is very similar. Believe it or not, if you're going to get something like leukemia, chronic myeloid leukemia is the one you probably want to get, because in 2021 they came up with a drug. So what this is, it is a disease. So you have a switch, if you will, in your body. I hope I'm describing this correctly. And it produces white blood cells, which then turn into leukemia cells. So this type of leukemia, the switch is broken, and you're just producing white blood cells. Once again, I'm an overperformer. I really, right? I try. So this medicine that was discovered in 2020 or 2001 basically shuts that off. So it allows your white blood count, which my white blood count was high. Right. Sad part of this is for 3 weeks we didn't know what I had. We knew it was cancer. We just didn't know what it was. That was a fun 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's great when you have to deal with that.
So, and there'll be some people I want to thank out of all of this too, coming up in a second. But so we learned that it was this type of leukemia. So in 2001, they created a drug that basically shut down the production of white blood cells, the overproduction. There was one drug in 2001, and then there was 2 as time went on, and then there was 3. But still up until 2018, the life expectancy for this cancer was about 35%. Since 2018, it's over 95%. There are, I believe, 8 medicines that have been approved by the FDA. There are 3 others that are in testing right now. I will be a part of a trial through Roswell in Buffalo, which is wonderful. And I want to talk about Utica, too, because it played a role as well. But it'll be a medicine that has already been approved, but on the 3rd time. So you'd have to fail with medicine number 1. Maybe a year later, you'll fail with medicine number 2. And then on the 3rd shot, they allow you to give. So they believe that this medicine should be one of the primary medicines. And that's what I will go on starting next week.
So do they have you in anything right now?
No. So the other part of this is it is a slow-moving cancer. And oftentimes you have no symptoms whatsoever. I read through the symptoms, and it's just, I would know if I had these symptoms, and I don't have them. So both of my doctors said, chances are you wouldn't even know. It's almost always caught in routine blood tests.
Well, and that's another thing too, is, for a lot of people, they don't do the annual physical. They don't do. So Real Men Get Tested now, I think we'll have the mission to expand to every type of testing there is.
Well, and it always really has been. I mean, Absolutely. We've always said that listen to your doctor and get tested. Because if you wait, and this is a good example, in this cancer, if you wait, it will develop into what is called acute myeloid leukemia, which is now it's running through your body and it's spreading. And then there's the next level where it's almost difficult to beat. So, on one hand, you don't want anything. I didn't want colon cancer.
Yeah.
And it's shocking when you hear that word. But, if you're going to get it, this is probably the one you want. And which there are so many people that aren't so lucky. So I have to look at this that I'm incredibly lucky.
Right.
That they were able to come up with a medicine that can treat this. So Dr. Desai is the doctor. First of all, Dr. Garg is my primary Dr. Zielinski and Dr. Chmielewski as well, all were, because, once you get this basically the diagnosis that you have the high white blood count, and there are subdivisions of that really were alerting the doctors. Now you're scared to death, so you're seeing everybody. They sent me to an oncologist, Dr. Desai, who was with the Utica Cancer Center. He was wonderful. He's the one that called me on a Friday night and said, it's good news.
Yep.
I mean, we knew it was cancer, but it's good news. It is a cancer that is treatable. And very successfully treatable. And then we went to Roswell, which was an unbelievable experience because that's all they deal in, and everybody there was wonderful. And the good news I got from my doctor there, Dr. Green, is that it'll be the last time that I have to have a bone marrow biopsy. So if you're familiar with that, it has improved tremendously now from when my grandfather had it done in 1981. They numb you tremendously, but they are going in.
Yeah.
They start with the first needle, which is literally sucking the bone marrow out of your bone.
Oh.
The second needle is a little bit smaller than a straw, and it's very sharp, and that's taking the bone biopsy. So they say I should never have to have that done again. I hope they're correct. So anyway, that's the news.
Well.
Fun.
Yeah. Well, and it's so hard when people say, "Oh, you've got the good cancer." It's cancer.
Yeah.
And cancer's funny. We will probably never beat it. It's very ingenious. It's a part of us in a way. I mean, really, when you're talking about your switch that doesn't go off, that's what cancer is. I mean, cancer is immortal. Your body generates cells, tosses off cells, and whatever it is. And what cancer does, it says, you know what? I'm not stopping. I'm just continuing to make copy after copy after copy after copy after copy, and that's
it's
kind of
an,
and I'm not Dr. Hall.
Yeah, it's kind of an overdrive, which is happening to my system. But when I think about just all the other people, the kids, people who have had this disease prior to 2018 or prior to 2001 when there was nothing, it was a death sentence. So, I mean, that's terrible. And the children that have to go through it, it is just awful to think about. But through all of this, I am lucky that there is a medicine. It will not be radiation or chemotherapy. It'll be a pill. Right. And it's a pill that directly goes after that mechanism that produces white blood cells, and it shuts it off. So as long as I can handle the medicine, which I expect you have no choice, right? You will.
You will.
That's what we're dealing with. So if I can take my story and Tim's story and Davey's story, I mean, Davey is a 2-time cancer survivor. 2 times, right, Davey? Your cancer was what? Thyroid cancer. Twice. Yeah. And let me tell you, Davey is as miserable as ever.
He'll outlast that cancer.
But he's as happy as can be.
Yeah.
He's very healthy. So it can be beaten, but if you wait, the most horrible thing in the world is if you wait, because it does get worse. And it does get to a point where, as all of my doctors have said, if you didn't catch it, you probably wouldn't have known until you started receiving bad symptoms, and then it would probably be pretty late, and your chances of survival would have reduced tremendously.
Right. And, the thing, too, is that it's, while we live with the cancer, its ramifications run through our families, through our friends.
No doubt about it,
that have to live with it as well. So obviously our children or whatever it is want to see us as healthy as we can be. And so we have an obligation, I think, to them in regards to it to
take care of yourself.
To take care of ourselves.
To give yourself that chance to to be in a situation now that you're in to have something
To be able to
early
beat
enough
it.
Right.
to beat it. Yeah.
And my wife has been unbelievable.
Yeah.
My kids. So, because it's a pretty terrible thing to hear. And I think there are many people, we're not alone. Many people hear these words, you have cancer.
Yep.
It's a terrible thing to hear. But again, if you can do those little things, simple things like a simple blood test,
right,
and a simple test that is available today, it increases your odds of survival and a healthy survival,
Exactly.
not one
You're
where
not
you're
living in a-
miserable.
yeah.
And you feel horrible. You can, but it's about catching it at the right time. So, Tim, I appreciate all your
Yeah.
support as well.
Yeah.
And we're coming up on the hard break. No matter, even cancer can't stop what's about to happen. We have news coming up, and it'll shut our mics off in about 3 seconds. So news is next.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome,
W295EI,
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
He's feeling left out. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The presidential candidate who hopes to be part of the first debate a week from today.
It seems unlikely that independent candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. will take the stage with Trump and Biden next week. He missed that midnight deadline to meet the polling and delegate criteria needed to qualify. A new Fox News poll shows Biden and Trump with a large lead on RFK Jr. That poll puts Biden at 43%, Trump at 42%, and RFK Jr. at 10%.
That's Fox's Brooke Singman. Now, head-to-head, the Biden lead is 2 points in the Fox poll that shows the president benefiting from a growing number of voters who say the economy is in excellent or good shape, about a third. The president also has an edge among the voters who say the most important issue is the future of American democracy. Former President Trump is favored by voters on the immigration issue. It is going to be another hot day as summer starts.
We go home, like the heat, the humidity is in the house, so we have the AC on high, and my friends and family are pretty much doing the same thing.
She's in Philadelphia, where it could hit 98 degrees this weekend. Today, there are heat advisories or warnings. Michigan up to Maine. Tropical storm Alberto moving into Mexico. Its heavy rains have also reached South Texas, causing some flooding. Russian President Vladimir Putin is in Vietnam, signing agreements the day after a trip to North Korea to bolster their alliance.
So far, South Korea has only offered Ukraine humanitarian assistance in its war against Russia. But the Russian-North Korean agreement to defend each other if attacked has suddenly changed the dynamic. The presidential office in Seoul condemning the deal and warning it'll reconsider its policy of only supplying Ukraine with non-lethal aid.
Fox's Jonathan Savage, an American who donated $50 to a Ukrainian organization, has gone on trial today in Russia, charged with treason. Ksenia Karolina is from Los Angeles, but is a dual Russian citizen, was arrested in February when she went back home. America's listening to Fox News.
You know, since 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation has been committed to supporting our nation's first responders and veterans. They support America's heroes like U.S. Army Major Jonathan Turnbull. Now, Major Turnbull sustained devastating injuries at the hands of an ISIS suicide bomber. Tunnel to Towers gave him a specially adapted smart home designed for his needs. Join Tunnel to Towers. They're hoping all of us will donate $11 a month so this great work continues. Their website, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org.
Progressive presents 10 things on a contractor's to-do list that are harder than getting a commercial auto insurance quote. Bidding a new client, giving an accurate estimate, finding affordable materials, getting a client to pay you for work you already did, getting a client to pay you, period, securing permits and workers and tools, getting those workers and tools to work together, and finding the perfect pair of overalls. Pockets, baby. But the easiest thing on a small business owner's to-do list? Seeing if you can save on commercial auto insurance. Get a quote in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage subject to policy terms and conditions.
A change is coming in the Caribbean. Turks and Caicos may soon relax a strict firearms law that some Americans famously violated.
The island nation has recently cited American tourists for having weapons ammunition in their luggage. The minimum penalty, 12 years in prison. Local news outlet Newsline TCI says lawmakers now want to amend that to use discretion to offer a lesser penalty. Ryan Watson was held when rifle ammo was found in his bag. He told Fox Digital.
Shorts and flip-flops, and that was all we were concerned about bringing. So it never dawned on us to research any of these things.
An amendment would apply case by case and let courts decide the penalty. Watson and 4 other Americans have been cited for the ammo law in the British territory. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
Speaking of guns and ammo, there were shootings in 2 cities. The one in Oakland, California, wounded several people at a Juneteenth celebration, while in Philadelphia,
police say a dark-colored car pulled up to the scene, and 1 to 3 people got out and started shooting at a crowd of people on the sidewalk before getting back inside and taking off. Among the 5 females and 2 males shot, a 16-year-old girl who was actually inside her house and hit in the stomach.
Dawn Tamanay with Fox 29 TV. The New York Post is reporting the migrant in the U.S. illegally charged with raping a 13-year-old girl in a Queens Park last week confessed and told prosecutors he recorded it. Christian Ingolandi was arraigned yesterday. Congresswoman Claudia Tenney, a New York Republican, tells Fox crimes committed by immigrants here illegally is a big problem.
These are going to be like smash and grabs until we do something with the border. It is affecting us, our security.
Now, the migrant is facing also murder charges in Maryland. On Wall Street, stocks could rise after the Juneteenth holiday break. Futures are higher than Nasdaq's on a 7-day streak of record high closes. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox.
Good morning. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM News Time 8:05. I'm Andrew Derminio. Right now, 77 degrees. Temperatures continue to climb and quickly. We've got your full weather forecast in minutes. This update brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. The Utica Fire Department battled 2 blazes in the city yesterday, one just before 10 a.m. in South Utica on Leslie Ave. Utica Fire Chief Scott Ingersoll says early reports confirm that the fire started in a bathroom fan in the ceiling area of the first floor. There was heavy smoke damage to the second floor. From the fire, 4 adults and 3 cats were displaced by the fire, and 2 firefighters were injured and sent to Wynn Hospital for evaluation and treatment, one for heat stress, the other for a sprained ankle. Then the second fire call came in at about 8:34 p.m. on Louisa Street. When companies arrived, they found heavy smoke coming from the first and second floors of the structure. Heavy fire was burning in the rear of the first floor, with fire extending into the second. Firefighters were able to control the fire and complete searches of the structure. All occupants were accounted for. There were no injuries. Speaking of the heat, yet another day of hot and humid weather is on tap for central New York. A heat advisory that's been in place since Tuesday will expire at 8 p.m. tonight, but before that, temperatures will once again be in the 90s, and the heat index could surge past the 100-degree mark. State parks will be open free of charge today, so people have a place where they can go to cool off. Locally, the list includes Fillmore, Green Lakes, Delta, and more. A popular bookstore chain is announcing plans to set up a brand new one at Destiny USA. It'll be located in the spot that used to be occupied by Banana Republic on the second floor of the shopping center. If all goes according to plan, the store will be open to customers in August. Barnes & Noble already has locations in Clay, DeWitt, and New Hartford. A Syracuse native is getting the chance to be part of the opening act for one of the biggest names in country music. Nate Felty will take the stage at the Empower Federal Credit Union Amphitheater at Lakeview in Syracuse tomorrow night. He's a graduate of West Genesee High School and is the drummer for Zach Top, who will perform ahead of Lainey Wilson. Felty says he's excited to play at the venue where he grew up, less than 2 miles from. Tickets for the show are still available through Live Nation. And authorities in Nevada are looking into what's being called a mysterious monolith that reportedly appeared out of nowhere in the desert near Las Vegas.
This is very weird.
The Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department showed a picture of it on Facebook Tuesday. The 10-foot-tall square column has mirrors on all 4 sides and was spotted over the weekend in the desert foothills north of Las Vegas. Similar structures have been found in recent years in other parts of the world, from the Utah desert to England's Isle of Wight. Las Vegas police said they would leave it up on social media detectives to work on this mystery. It is 8:08.
So this is like a modern-day crop circle.
Yeah, so there is a tall structure. So it's clearly man-made?
I don't know.
Have you seen a picture of it?
I have.
I got to look it up.
It looks like, I mean, could it be man-made? It could be. I mean, there are a lot of people that don't believe that the crop circles are man-made. They think it's from another world. In fact, there were some police officers that thought I was responsible for one up on Vickerman Hill, which I was not. In fact, later on, we had the guy on. He was a truck driver who came on.
That's awesome.
And said, and he told us how he did it. He pulled this barrel behind him, which lays everything down, but he does it symmetrically and creates this crop circle. And then you look at this thing, Andrew.
This is insane.
It almost seems alien-like.
It's literally just a column of mirrors.
Correct.
It's perfectly square, perfectly flat, flush.
Now, did somebody go in the desert and actually put this up?
I mean, I don't even know how they would secure it.
As a
they would
prank?
have to dig
I don't
down.
know.
It's standing
I
tall
don't
and
know.
firm.
It is. It's how tall again? Said
They
so in the
say
story.
it is approximately, I can't tell, 10 foot tall, 10 feet.
So when you're looking at it, though, it's reflecting all around. You're seeing it's really...
So you almost probably wouldn't have noticed it at first.
I guess you'd probably see it at something in the... Maybe a reflection of the sun, I would imagine. Anyway, I have no idea what it is. It's got to be a human that did this as a prank. That's just what I'm thinking.
Or was it?
Or was it? I guess we'll have to wait and see.
It's 8:10. Your weather forecast is brought to you by Clinton Tractor, the leader in service. Visit clintontractor.net.
Here's the latest from the WIBX Weather Center for today. Partly cloudy early. Some potentially severe thunderstorms. High near 90 degrees. Tonight, chance of thunderstorms. Some of those could be severe. Low 68. And tomorrow, severe thunderstorms possible. Storms could have gusty winds. Otherwise, partly sunny skies. High 83. That's the latest. I'm Mike Johnson for WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
77 degrees under cloudy skies now at 8:10.
You want me to hit this?
Please. Thank you very much. Sports brought to you by IBEW NECA 43, local contractors. Well, the Yankees blew it again. They've dropped 3 of their last 4 games after falling to the Baltimore Orioles 7-6 in 10 innings. Garrett Cole's debut for the season saw him strike out 5, but allowed 2 runs on 3 hits over 4 innings of work. Clay Holmes was tagged with the loss after coming in and giving up 2 runs almost instantly, one of them earned over an inning of relief. Giancarlo Stanton had a big night and tried to keep the Yankees in it with a 3-run home run and a 1-run RBI, which is what an RBI is. New York is now leading the AL East at 51-25, but they'll look to win this afternoon to keep a good distance between them and the Orioles. The Mets were unable to extend their winning streak to 8 games after falling to the Rangers 5-3 in their series finale at Globe Life Field. New York is 4th in the NL East at 35-38. They'll visit the Chicago Cubs for a 3-game series that begins tomorrow afternoon at Wrigley Field. The Yankees game today, by the way, a 4 o'clock game, a little bit earlier than usual, so be aware of that. And the Oilers are hoping to do something only a couple of teams in hockey have ever accomplished. Edmonton is looking to even the best of 7 Stanley Cup Finals series at 3 games apiece when the puck drops for Game 6 at Rogers Place Friday night. The Oilers are coming off a close win over the Panthers in Sunrise where Connor McDavid netted a pair of goals, which included an empty netter. To secure the victory, the Oilers are trying to become just the 3rd team ever to force a Game 7 in Cup Final history after trailing 3-0. Revive Softwave Therapy on Genesee Street in Utica. That is where you want to go if you're dealing with chronic pain to your neck, back, wrist, arthritis, shoulder, neuropathy pain, or in my case, foot and ankle pain. In just 6 treatments, my pain in the foot and ankle area, the inflammation, went from an 8 to a 0 on the pain scale, and the inflammation was gone. And I'm now back to regular physical activity, I mean, riding my Peloton and riding my bike and lifting weights, and I'm able to get on the foot and ankle again without much irritation. So if you want to return to a normal life, maybe you don't want the pain injections anymore, maybe you want to give up the pain pills, give Revive Softwave Therapy a try. They're located on Genesee Street in Utica, and I can tell you a lot of people around town talking about them. Rob Esch, one of the people who is a Revive Softwave Therapy patient, and he swears by it. You can give him a call, 315-725-8427. That's 315-725-8427. It's a device that was established in Germany. It sends high-speed sound waves to the impacted area, which promotes natural blood flow and your body's natural stem cells to go to the affected area and start fighting the inflammation and whatever issue you're dealing with. So let the healing begin with Revive Softwave Therapy. Mention the Keeler Show when you call them at 315-725-8427. They'll give you a sweet discount on your initial consultation, treatment, and they'll put you on a nice treatment plan. Again, let the healing begin with Revive Softwave Therapy, Genesee Street in Utica.
So today is going to be at 4:51 is the summer solstice. 4:51 p.m. today.
Love it.
So today and tomorrow will be the longest days of the year. And at 4:51 p.m. today, the sun reaches its most northern point in the sky during the year. The sun is rising today, tomorrow, and Saturday at 5:22 a.m.
Yeah.
The sunset is at 8:44 p.m. It is the longest day. The next 3 days will be the longest days of daylight that we'll have.
But
in fact, it might
interestingly
even
enough,
be longer than it's been in a long time.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, that might be the time that the sun begins to set or the official sunset time, but close to 10 o'clock, you're still seeing a little bit of sunlight.
Well, you'll
in
still,
the horizon.
at the very least, you'll still, it's 9:15. You're still you could still see some sort of daylight out there. And yeah, it takes a while for the sun to completely set, Andrew. The 2024 summer solstice is the earliest since 1796.
Wow.
During a leap year like 2024, the solstice is about 18 hours and 11 minutes earlier than the previous year, which means in New York, you'll have more than 15 hours of daylight. Pretty wild, right?
Yeah, it is.
And
heat to go with it.
We are experiencing that today, tomorrow, and on Saturday. So enjoy it while you can, even though today's going to be another one of those days where it's really oppressive, very, very hot. Jake is in Utica. Hi, Jake. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Good morning, Bill. Good morning, Andrew.
Morning.
Don't get down on yourself about the cancer.
We're all right. We're going to be okay.
You will be. I have stage 4 prostate cancer, and now it's in remission 3 years now.
Wow.
That's awesome.
And, yeah, well, I got good doctors, and God, thank God.
It is, but, the one thing that you do, Jake, is you're taking care of yourself. You're getting tested. You are listening to what the doctors tell you. It really does make all the difference in the world.
Absolutely, but there are people that get down on themselves, and that's not good.
I know. I hate talking about it. Just because of other people's reactions, I think I hate the most. But it is. But listen, it is. I'm really lucky, and as you are as well. I mean, there are just so many people that don't have that same opportunity to go into remission or to be able to manage the cancer. I think they explained to me that it is never. This will not be treatable. There is no cure. I should say it is treatable. It's not curable. But it is treatable,
right?
And
exactly.
and it should not be what kills you. And the same with prostate cancer. So,
okay.
All right. With that said, Jake.
Hey, one more thing. I wanted to call about the OD.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks. I'm 74 years old.
Mm-hmm.
When I was 12, 13 years old, I delivered papers. That was I had such a good time.
Yeah.
I loved it. I was 12 and 13.
Well, and you made
years
money.
old at the
Yeah.
time.
Yep.
Yeah, and I had 100 papers and a real good route. And I remember that Joe, he'd drive a station wagon, and he dropped the papers off on a porch. Because back then, there was morning, afternoon, and evening.
Right. You had the Daily Press.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those were good times. Yeah, and I made pretty good money, believe it or not, for a kid.
Well, it was a good way for a kid to learn
a little work ethic.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, and today, unfortunately, I mean, it's probably good for the Postal Service. They're getting all this business, but you're getting your news so late. Well, you can get online. I find that with the OD, you go online, you're still getting old news.
Yeah.
So there's only you can only do so much with no bodies, and if you only have a few bodies trying to create the news, one person can only do so much, and it's really sad that we're in that state today. But we'll somehow figure out a way to work through it, and the Sentinel's doing really an incredible job of trying to fill that void.
Now, they've been around forever, haven't they, in Rome?
They have. It's and it's been under one roof, under one family
for years,
for all this time, which is the only reason we probably still have it here, because when you live here, your community means something to you, and I think that is what that family is all about. So we should be thankful that they're there.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
Good stuff, Jake. Thank you, man.
Keep your head up high.
Thank you so much.
Have a great day, guys.
You do the same. Thank you.
Thanks, Jake. So we do have several people reaching out here on the app to you this morning. This is Debbie in Rome sending positive thoughts and prayers. So sorry to hear about your diagnosis. Just reached 24 years since breast cancer diagnosis myself. Positive attitude makes a difference.
It does.
My
grandfather had cancer in 1978. And he lived into he nearly reached 90 years old. So, he lived for another 30 years after that. So,
Dawn in New Hartford. Good morning, Bill. Sending you many prayers for strength and a positive outcome. You have a huge support system with family, friends, and your listeners. My dad had it several years ago. Medicine has changed immensely since then. You got this. Sue in Utica for heart and prayer emoji hands for your new challenge, sending positive energy, and Stephen Rome praying for you, brother.
Can I also say, too, I can't say enough about Dr. Desai. He was about to go on vacation last Friday and called after 5 o'clock to say, hey, before I left, I wanted to call you and tell you, it is chronic myeloid leukemia, which is what we were hoping for. And he said, I didn't want you to have to go another week wondering what was going on. So you just don't get that out of every doctor.
No, and doctors who are in this type of field too, for the most part, they usually they go into the above and beyond category.
And Dr. Garg, who has been on me to make sure that I get this testing done, which I dragged my feet. Because we were testing something else. We weren't testing for cancer.
Yeah.
So never expected this to come back. Dr. Zielinski, Dr. Shemolinsky, and then all of those people out at Roswell, who that's just it's what they do. And when you walk in, you don't wait. It's unbelievable. You don't wait. There's a person that meets you at every step. We were going up the elevator trying to figure out which floor it was on, and the guy pushing a mop stopped and came up to us and said, "Sir, do you guys know where you're going? I want to make sure you know where you're going." I mean, that's the guy mopping the floors.
Yeah, fully involved.
So I that day was checked in, had blood work. I had 16 vials of blood taken. I don't think I've ever given that much blood. I don't know how I did it. The cranberry juice must have done it. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
But you didn't wait for a moment. She was perfect with that. You then went, checked in with the doctor, saw the nurse practitioner who was doing the bone marrow, the bone marrow sample, the biopsy. Then the doctor came in, spent almost a half an hour with us explaining everything. After he was done, there was a knock on the door, and the pharmacist came in to explain how the medicine works, what it would be like if I decided to go on the trial, which we've decided we're going to do. So I'll be trialing the newest medicine that is out there. And then they took me into the room where I had to go through the most enjoyable bone marrow biopsy. But that has come a long way, too. It's more that you know what's going on than the pain. You feel things that are happening. Ooh. But the pain, they do a great job of managing the pain. Nonetheless, all of those people have just been instrumental. And Steve Nuno as well.
Good man.
Steve has gone through his own bout with cancer and highly recommended going out to Roswell. And Dr. Garg and Dr. Desai, both who were completely supportive to say, get out there and get a second opinion. We want you to get a second opinion. So I'll be being treated both in Buffalo and in Utica, working through Dr. Desai's office. So I know you get a lot of stuff. People say a lot of things about healthcare in Utica. I have nothing but positive things to say. Nothing but positive. And the people over in that Utica Cancer Center, they're dealing, just like at Roswell, they're dealing with people every single day. Some not as fortunate as I, who are really struggling going through their treatment and may or may not. Hopefully they will make it through this. Not everybody does. But the staff over there is just wonderful at the Utica Cancer Center. And they realize everybody's going through something, and they do everything they can, I feel, to make you feel better. And
that's the key.
It is the key. So nothing but praise do I have for everybody that I've dealt with on all of this. And, of course, Tim, and in my family, my wife, my parents, and everybody. It is, you just can't ask for any more. Got a break. Hold tight. I'm done talking about this, by the way. It's just depressing. I don't want to talk about it anymore. And for some reason, I'm losing my voice. Oh, he's on the medicine. He's losing his... No, I haven't had any medicine. It must be the side effects. No,
let's get
I don't
him
know
some
what
of
it
that.
is.
Get him that medicine quick.
Making me nervous. I got a break at WIBX.
Step into the magic of the 2024 Glimmer Glass Festival, where summer comes alive with the finest in opera and musical theater.
The Glimmer Glass Festival is a world-class summer celebration of the arts nestled on the banks of beautiful Otsego Lake, just minutes from Cooperstown, making it an easy day trip from anywhere in the Mohawk Valley.
This year's festival runs from July 22nd through August 20th and invites you to immerse yourself in myth, mystery, and adventure with productions that explore the connection between identity and illusion.
From the timeless hilarity of Gilbert and Sullivan's The Pirates of Penzance to the gripping drama of Pagliacci.
Celestial escapades of La Callisto and intriguing mystery of Elizabeth Cree. Experience the magic firsthand.
The Glimmer Glass Festival, a highlight of your summer experiences in the Cooperstown region. Hiking, kayaking, picnicking, and world-class opera and musical theater. Just a short drive from anywhere in the Mohawk Valley.
Visit glimmerglass.org to purchase tickets and to learn more about this year's festival. Then join us and see for yourself why there's no place quite like Glimmerglass.
You know the old saying, look with your eyes, not with your hands. Well, that does not apply at New York Sash.
Scott and Jill here again, inviting you to visit our Idea and Design Center showroom at 349 Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro. It's a great chance for you to not just see, but also touch and feel all of our windows and doors, siding, and bath products.
Most companies are going to force you to make a major, important remodeling decision by looking at itty-bitty, teeny-weeny photos on a website or in a catalog.
But this is your home, for crying out loud. It's important to get it right. So come in and take a look with your eyes and with your hands.
Heck, you can even smell it if you want.
Drop by our showroom from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. or Saturdays from 9 to 1 at 349 Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro.
Call New York Sash now and get 15% off windows, doors, or bathrooms, or online at newyorksash.com. That's newyorksash.com.
Rodney Atkins, June 20th, 7:30 p.m. at the Stanley Theater. Get your tickets now at the Stanley Theater box office or online at thestanley.org.
If you love them enough to turn off your music and pretend like their music is your music,
this is Mommy's jam.
then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Let's play it again.
Check today at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Are you sick of being just a number or doing a mindless job? Become a craftsman in a trade. Become an IBEW electrician. The IBEW and the Electrician Training Alliance will give you all the tools necessary at their state-of-the-art training facility. Earn as you learn. Paid training while you get your certification. What are you waiting for? Become an IBEW Local 43 electrician. Call or go online today to learn more. Find your career at IBEW and let the Electrician Training Alliance light up your future.
Utica's first cannabis dispensary is local, licensed, and now open to all. Exit 31 Exotic is your home for edibles, flower, vapes, and all your cannabis needs. Visit Exit 31 Exotic at 255 Genesee Street or online at uticacannabisco.com.
For use only by adults 21 years of age or older. Keep out of reach of children and pets. In case of accidental ingestion or overconsumption, contact the National Poison Control Center hotline 1-800-222-1222 or call 911. Please consume responsibly. License number OCMCAURD 2400076.
Hi, I'm Andy Meadows, Chief Editor of Radio Update. What is Radio Update, you ask?
It's an online publication specific to radio that shares innovative ideas about how to move our industry forward. Check us out if you're in radio or interested in getting into an industry that's over 100 years old and stronger than ever. Broadcast radio is now the largest mass medium in the United States. If you're like me and you have a passion for radio, or you want to put the power of radio to work for your brand, log on to radioupdate.com.
Hey, I want to tell you, Ricky Z is ready to take care of you with an award-winning Mazda. Brand new Mazdas. It's possible to drive an award-winning Mazda with 0% APR financing at Steep Pony Mazda. Drive a new 2024 Mazda CX-5 SE model for $285 a month on a 36-month lease. Or save with 0%. That's right. 0% APR financing on select award-winning new 2024 Mazdas. See the dealership for details. As Ricky says, let's make your deal on a new Mazda where it's always easy to do business. Steep Pony Mazda, Commercial Drive in Yorkville.
This is Keeler in the morning. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
And we'll also tell you about River Hills Properties. It is the #1 independent real estate agent in all of upstate New York because of the services provided. And this weekend, get ready to check out episode 12 of Sold. Can you believe it's episode 12 already?
That is crazy.
Of Sold in upstate New York. It's a new real estate TV show, and you can watch it on YouTube anytime. It'll actually be up probably tomorrow morning on YouTube. Or you can watch on TV. Saturday, 2 p.m. on WPNY. Sunday, 8 a.m. and 11 p.m. on Fox 33. It's River Hills Properties. Offices, if you're thinking about selling your home, your property can be featured on Sold in upstate New York. With offices in Barneville, Little Falls, Rome, and Utica. Online, riverhillspropertiesllc.com. Call 315-896-1009 for River Hills Properties. All right, what's going on here? Let's talk about this.
So this is Tracy with Miles for Meg. Meg was a young girl who tragically took her own life way too soon. It's a terrible thing dealing with suicide of any kind, but especially youth suicide. And Tracy and the organization Miles for Meg has been doing everything they can to help spread awareness, to let people know that there is help out there, and they're doing something positive to help their organization. They're having a music festival this weekend, and we have Tracy Stewart on the line right now with Miles for Meg.
Hey, Tracy, good morning. Good morning. Thanks for coming on.
Oh, thank you for having me.
So talk about Miles for Meg first as an organization.
Yes. It's a 501c3 organization we created for suicide prevention, but mainly we help with families coping with suicide loss. We offer financial assistance for funeral expenses because not a lot of times life insurance won't pay. So we do offer that, and recently we've helped donate towards inpatient care for a young teenager that attempted suicide.
It's so important for a community and for people and family and friends to be aware. It really is. And then you're doing a music festival this weekend, so you can actually come out and have a good time, and you're raising money for a great cause.
Yes.
Talk about the festival.
Yeah,
and
where is it going to be, and how do people enjoy it?
Yep. It's at Rustic Ties in Dolgeville, New York. It starts at 11:30 a.m., and 6 bands and musicians play all the way to 11 p.m.
Wow, that's awesome. You got a good lineup?
Yes, we do. We start with Falling from One, then Joe Van Dresser, then Grit and Grace, Carson Murphy, Buffy and the Boys, and then we end with Northern Outlaws.
Wow.
That's a good group.
So a great lineup. How much is it to get in?
It's $25 for adults, $10 for kids, and 4 and under is free.
Okay. All right, and that will be on Saturday.
Yep, this Saturday.
Okay. All right, good stuff, Tracy. Thank you, and good luck. I hope you raise a lot of money.
Oh, thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Let's see. I really dreaded coming in today. I did not want to get into all this.
But
it is what it is.
You're doing well.
It is what it is, as
We're
they
here
say.
for you.
I have some other stories if you care. We've got some, crazy stuff out there. Like in Northern California, a pet donkey ran off 5 years ago. This was a family's pet, and the thing ran off 5 years ago. And then they discovered that they have found their pet donkey, but the donkey is now living with a wild herd of elk, and it seems happy, and they don't, and the donkey doesn't want to come back, so they decided to let him live out the rest of his days with the elk. Here's the audio from the discovery of their long lost.
I'm not coming home.
Their long lost ass. Here we go.
I just bumped these elk, and there's a donkey with them.
It was amazing. It was like, oh my gosh, finally we saw him. Finally we know he's good. And it was just a relief. They learned to get along and be each other's family. To catch him would be next to impossible. He is truly a wild burro now.
Yeah.
How do they know?
They know. They know,
that it's
Andrew.
Their donkey.
They just know.
I'll recognize that ass anywhere.
Here, grab that ass. Get her over here. Him over here. Whatever. Sorry. Today is also National Vanilla Milkshake Day. If you
more of a chocolate guy, but
I am
go
too.
out and enjoy.
Still, there's some many great milkshakes out there.
Stewart's,
Bonomo's.
Oh yeah,
Cookies. Stewart's is nice because it's all year long. You can just walk in there in the middle of the winter and be like, I am craving a chocolate milkshake. And I love those chocolate milkshakes. Okay, big story that came out of Oneida last week. Police raided a hemp store and Cornell's Greenhouse, spelled the German way, Greenhaus, and claiming that they were selling illegal marijuana out of there, or selling marijuana illegally, and shut the place down. What happened? We want to speak to somebody out there. Jamie Hughes is the manager of Cornell's Greenhouse, which is currently shut down. Jamie, good morning. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you so much for inviting me, gentlemen. It's wonderful to be here.
All right. So what happened?
So, here we go.
Yeah.
A little bit still on the raw side of that. So, basically opened the store on Wednesday, helped a few customers out, made myself a cup of coffee, and then the next thing I knew, I had 4 police officers coming in just saying, hi, good morning, we're here to do just a small inspection and stuff. Me being very courteous to the law and just being respectful.
Sure.
I thought, okay, absolutely, come on through. Then they were asking questions like, do you have anything on you or anything in the store that could be considered as, a lethal weapon or anything that could be dangerous or harmful to us? I was like, not really, no. But then as I was saying that, I couldn't help but notice one of the officers on the phone just saying like, okay, you can come in. And the next thing I knew, my parking lot, there were 3, 4, 5 cars, and then my store was filled from 4 to 6 to 8 to 12, and
wow,
in a small store and everything. My first thought for defense mechanism, because trying to decrease the tension in the room, I was like, oh God, if I knew I had this many of you coming in, I would have bought more coffee mugs.
That's right.
I would have made you all a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
But I knew back in my brain, I was like, something is happening. What is going on?
Mm-hmm.
And they were looking around and they said, oh, are you the owner or anything? I was like, no, I'm just the store manager. I'm the guy that just comes in and says, hi, how you doing today?
Sure.
What are you looking to buy?
Yeah.
They said, well, these products here, and they pointed out to THC products that we had, so in the format of gummies and vapes and such. They said, you are not allowed to have those. That is technically illegal in your store. And I was dumbfounded. I thought, well, wait a minute now. We've been having these for a while, and we've never had any issues with the authorities. They would pop in once in a while to do a nice little welfare check, make sure I'm alive in the store and everything, because I'm the one person working there. And I was baffled. It says, I'm like, well, we've had no issue in the past because, well, it's illegal. And they started to seize, the product, all of that THC product. Now, when it comes to THC, for us, as a business, we were under the notion that selling THC products was perfectly fine. Anything that, as it would state on the product, that anything that contains a total of Delta-9 tetrahydrocannabinol concentration does not exceed over the 0.3 dry weight basis was perfectly fine. And, respectfully saying, if anyone in the business, including my previous boss, the owner, thought, wait a minute, this is not right. We don't feel comfortable at this. We know for a fact we would never have sold it in the first place, and especially when the store was across the road from the Oneida State Police Department or the state troopers. So
you were right. Your location is right across from the Oneida Barracks, Troop D.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So you've been operating.
Like,
you've been operating across from them for how long now? 3 years, was it?
The business has been around for about 3+ years. We moved into that establishment or that building, I would say, around about 3 years ago. And, we've never had any issues with the police whatsoever. God forbid, knock on wood. And it's strange that it came to that day, and it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Why is this special today? What is different about it? And they were explaining all these different things.
Did somebody report you or something? Did they tell you?
No, apparently that's something in which I don't know. We're still trying.
Well, I think what I think happened is somebody said reported you, and then we're like, and can you believe it's right across from the state police barracks, and they're not even doing anything about it, and
they didn't want to,
which would be somewhat embarrassing, I would think.
Well,
maybe somebody did that.
Well, it wasn't only just that got hit as well. We had another store that was down the road from where I live in Oneida that also got hit as well with the same thing as well, and they were also selling product in which apparently was like a slap on the wrist. You cannot sell, but
for you guys, they shut you right down.
Oh yeah, they basically. I was on the phone to the owner, telling him exactly what was going on. I was relaying the messages over to the officer who's in charge of the operation, and it was basically a back and forth, calls with the owner, talking to the officer, texts from the owner, and for me being the only person there in which is only the store manager, who only is the one that comes in each day, to help with sales, help the customers. Because with Cornell's Greenhouse, we were very well respected and loved in Oneida. We literally just recently got awarded Best of the Best by the Oneida Dispatch for Reader's Choice as Best Smoke Shop for a third year running. And that was taken, that was just like all of what we did was ripped away. They had to padlock the store.
So you didn't have a marijuana sales license?
We had, from my boss, he's got all the documents.
Yeah, sure.
From what I recall, what I have on the wall was we had a license for cannabinoid sales, in which we all assumed that was perfectly fine to have, to be in the same department with THC.
Yeah.
And we thought that's perfectly fine. Again, if we felt, or if the owner felt as though something wasn't right, I know for a drop of a hat, he would have called me up straight away and say, Jamie,
sure, hey, don't sell this.
Please pull this off the shelf until we know 100% sure if we're able to or not. I would have done all that, because that's the one thing we want to do. We want to make sure that what we are selling is not only legal, but also safe, and is help, for customer care as well. We want to make sure that the customer is taken care of first and foremost. And for many years, that's what we've been doing in Oneida, is making sure that we give them the best
service and the best product. Okay, we're speaking with Jamie Hughes. Jamie was the manager of Cornell's Greenhouse in Oneida, which was raided by police last week and shut down. Police have claimed that they were not authorized or certified to be able to sell these THC products. If someone came in and they bought like the gummies, were taxes being collected and then paid to the state?
Absolutely. All of our products that we sell would be with tax included. The way I format it in my store in a nice way, because working in retail for so long, I understand in America that you have what you have listed as a price that is before taxes.
Correct, right.
I worked in retail long enough where customers would nag at me to say, why is this the price of this when it's the price of that on? I'm are you looking at taxes as well? That's why in my store I would have the price with the tax included, and then at the bottom I say, this is what it is without the tax, so at least you're not getting any confusion. And if they do get confused, I show them the
You would show them, Now, you are a wonderful storyteller, by the way. I like how you tell the story of what happened. And Jamie, where are you from originally?
I'm originally from South Wales in the UK.
Yeah.
So
I thought it was Wales or maybe Ireland, or you kind of yeah. So I think I'm part Welsh myself. I don't talk as wonderfully as you do, but wow. So
as long as you drink like a Welshman, you're perfectly fine.
I believe you're right. I think you're right. So you believe that what you guys were selling, you believe was authorized?
Yeah, absolutely. I meant I have no qualms. I have nothing negative to say about the business or the owner whatsoever.
Yeah.
In fact, I have nothing but high praise, because I know you were speaking earlier on your show, about depression stuff, and you don't really want to talk about it, and I apologize. But I will say on air, full respect, hand on heart, if it was not for Cornell's Greenhouse and the people running it, I would not be here today to say what I need to say. I would not be here literally. I went through a dark time before I started working for Cornell's, and I told this to the owner's face on the last day. I said to him, buddy, if I knew for a fact I was never comfortable with the business, what you sell at the business, or anything that you do with the business, I would never have offered my service to come work for this company. And they were gracious enough to offer me a job there. I worked there for 2 years. I got nothing but wonderful praises from both owners and, from customers. We're making profits. And recently as well, we were doing so well in our sales on profits and everything. We were doing everything correct, everything nice, everything respectful.
Yeah.
Then it comes like, oh, look, the summer's going to
all of a sudden it's shut down.
Boom, a lot.
Like, what dark times were you going through, Jamie?
I was going through a lot of depression, and it was getting to a point where I don't want to say that out loud, family-friendly show and everything, but let's just say that the intersection on Route 5 looked more and more appealing when I don't hit the the stop button.
Oh, boy.
And it was a terrible time. And, nowadays, I go to see a therapist now, in which I know with Men's Mental Health Month, I totally recommend, if you have an issue, you have the facilities, go and use them. They are fantastic. I use them myself. Don't leave it bottled up. Express it. Talk to someone about it. But yeah, honestly, they have been wonderful. And like I said, the store, their products, they helped me out. And even my partner, when I first started using it, he looked at me and went, Jamie, this is a night and day difference to what you were.
So you feel the products helped you with your depression?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Because one thing in which the officer in charge was saying to me was like, oh, you think that people are going to be coming in here to, use the product to help them out mentally and physically. But honestly, you have to think about it. They're just using it to get high. And I'm thinking that I didn't want to argue. I don't want to argue with anyone like that. But I personally think that is not true, because we have come a very long way in science when it comes to cannabis and marijuana, because back in the day, it used to be like, oh, this is a good thing to get high from. But now there are so many different varieties that you can get, in which helps not only with physicality, but with mentality, whether you want it with a bit of hallucinogenic to help you feel calm, people with appetite, everything like that. And it feels like we've gone 2 steps forward, but 3 steps back. And it's kind of it's a bit of a heartbreak. It really was, since Wednesday till, the week when I was told to make that announcement. It was, touch and go, anxiety.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I really am sorry that you're going through that. And you sound like you have a personality where you'll be able to get another job. And, I think you'll...
Well, hopefully there'd be some resolution where they can reopen.
Maybe they can reopen. That's the other part of this.
Yeah, I really hope for that as well. And for the owner, Jesse Cornell, I wish him all the best in the next steps that he needs to do to go through this, to get a hearing and to try and get this resolved, and hopefully, knock on wood, some good would come to him later on down the line.
All right. Well, Jamie, we appreciate tremendously that you've given the time here to speak with us, and we hope you have a wonderful day and this all gets resolved.
Oh, thank you very much. And boys, please have a wonderful day yourself. As I say to my customers, please stay out of trouble. If you can't stay out of trouble, wait, what is it? It's Thursday. Just don't get caught. Okay. You'll be fine.
All right.
Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much.
Jamie. Thank you.
You too, buddy.
If you can't stay out of trouble, just don't get caught. I like that. Jamie Hughes is the manager of Cornell's Greenhouse in Oneida. Wow, what a great storyteller, right? Telling the story as it went down. You kind of feel like you were there.
Great voice.
I kind of feel like I was there, and he's giving it with that Welsh accent. Really something. Coming up, we have room for what? Maybe 3 or 4 people to pick a degree that might be possible tomorrow. We're giving away an air conditioner. And here's the way this contest works. It has a wonderful title. I almost wish Jamie was still on to read the title. The great, name the exact temperature on the old Savings Bank of Utica weather line at exactly 7:20 a.m. Friday. Contest. That is when you call up that 315-797-6111. While their time is off, the temperature seems pretty accurate.
It's pretty good.
So when we call them at 7:20 tomorrow morning, our time, what will the automation say the temperature is? If you nail it exactly, you win a brand new air conditioner from WIBX. Pretty simple. So we have temperatures of 68 and below available and 78 and above. So I'll take, 3 or 4 more shots at it, and we'll see what it says tomorrow morning. Somebody's going to win an air conditioner. I'll take calls right now, 315-736-0186 at WIBX.
Utica's first cannabis dispensary is local, licensed, and now open to all. Exit 31 Exotic is your home for edibles, flower, vapes, and all your cannabis needs. Visit Exit 31 Exotic at 255 Genesee Street or online at uticacannabisco.com.
For use only by adults 21 years of age or older. Keep out of reach of children and pets. In case of accidental ingestion or overconsumption, contact the National Poison Control Center hotline 1-800-222-1222 or call 911. Please consume responsibly. License number OCMCAURD 240076.
Lisa and Peter had wanted a bed where they could pick a number on each side and make it as soft or as firm as they like. They were from Utica and went to the local national store. They advertised them. They liked it, but they had heard my ad that said, compare the smart bed by Instant Comfort. Lisa and Peter came in. We put them on a Q9 King Flex head. We elevated Peter's head and feet, put the massage on low. He was a number 24. He liked his side soft. Lisa liked her side firm. She was a 42. She liked her head elevated higher, her feet a little less, and the massage on high. They were thrilled that it had a 25-year industry-leading warranty. They loved the fact that it had 45 individual settings on each side, and it was totally affordable because they qualified and signed up for the 5 years, no interest, no money down. And then they got a $750 prepaid card, our current promotion, to go spend on themselves for the summer. Go to mattressexpressny.com for locations and try the smart bed by Instant Comfort.
Scott and Jill here from New York Sash. Whenever you hear someone say they run a locally owned family business, you probably say, so what? Big deal.
Well, it is actually a big deal to us because we're from right here in Whitesboro, and you've seen us on TV for years. And our showroom, it's over on Oriskany Boulevard, right past the New York Thruway.
I mean, think about it. We have to treat our customers right because we're going to see you down at Hannaford when we're buying green beans.
Or over at Burn Dairy pumping gas. We prefer to run into happy customers who love us, who smile, because we've done everything in our power to install windows, doors, and their bathrooms right.
So yeah, we're a local family-owned business, 11 family members in all, and we are proud to treat our local customers like family too.
Call New York Sash now and get 15% off windows, doors, or bathrooms. 315-624-7344 or online at newyorksash.com.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Now's the time to get a great deal on select Kubota compact tractors. The Kubota L Series is the #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S. Right now at participating dealers, get a Kubota compact tractor for 0 down 0% APR for up to 60 months plus. Save up to $2,300 on select equipment. Now through June 30th, see us or go to KubotaUSA.com/disclaimers for full disclaimer. Visit us at WhitesFarmSupply.com.
White's Farm Supply.
Utica's first cannabis dispensary is local, licensed, and now open to all. Exit 31 Exotic is your home for edibles, flower, vapes, and all your cannabis needs. Visit Exit 31 Exotic at 255 Genesee Street or online at uticacannabisco.com.
For use only by adults 21 years of age or older. Keep out of reach of children and pets. In case of accidental ingestion or overconsumption, contact the National Poison Control Center hotline 1-800-222-1222 or call 911. Please consume responsibly. License number OCMCAURD 2400076.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ziprecruiter.com/free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free. ziprecruiter.com/free.
This is Keeler in the morning. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
All right, we mentioned through this heat, we're giving somebody a chance to win an air conditioner.
Oh yeah.
Put in your window and cool yourself off a little bit. We have 3 people taking a shot at tomorrow's temperature via that 797-6111.
I'm excited for this.
At 7:20 tomorrow morning, what will the temperature be? Jerry, what do you think? What do you predict?
Well, I wanted 68, but I'll go with 64.
All right, Jerry is 64.
Okay.
All right, we have your information. Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you very much. Take care of yourself, Bill.
I will. Thank you. Thank you so much. Kevin in New Hartford. What do you think, Kevin?
Yeah, good morning. I would pick the next temperature below 70 that's available.
So that would be
60.
65.
Oh, it is 65.
Or 66. Yeah, you could do 66.
Oh, 66 is available.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Jerry was
All right.
64,
Yep,
so
yep.
66 you could
All right,
take.
Kevin, we got you. 66. WNBC.
Get your kicks on
Sorry.
Route 66.
All right, thanks. Bob, you're the last one here, Bob. What do you want to take?
What's my choices again, Bill?
I think you've got...
You could get 65.
I think 65 or
is the
78.
lowest. Yeah.
65 or 78?
Yeah.
Let's go with 65.
I think that's a
Yeah,
better
that's
choice.
probably better.
All right, we've got you down, Bob.
I
Thank
think
you.
78 would just be a little too
All right,
high
thanks.
for
Have
that.
a great day. John Decker, what do you think the temperature, John, will be here at 7:20 tomorrow morning?
At 7:20 tomorrow morning. Yeah, let me weigh in on this, if I may. I think it's going to be. I heard your other guesses. I think I'm going to be really off if I weigh in here, but I think it's going to be 74.
Ooh.
74 is John's guess. That's
Donna
a
and
really,
Deerfield. That's I think the sweet pick because
that's a really good guess.
That's kind of
well.
right
Listen,
in the middle.
we all know you live with Central Air. You're all set.
Yeah.
All right, John Decker is the chief White House correspondent with Great TV. John, let's start with. I don't know what to expect with this upcoming debate. What do you think?
Yeah, well, I don't know what to expect either. I think that's the reason why it's going to get a lot of viewers tuning in to see what is going to happen. You have an 81-year-old president against a 78-year-old challenger. You don't have an audience of any kind, no studio audience.
That's going to be weird.
Debate rules where they can't consult with their aides during commercial breaks. So for all of those reasons, I think it's going to be an interesting debate. And it seems to me that President Biden really has low expectations, given some of the things that have been said about him in conservative media in particular.
Just like the last time, right? He actually, you think both of them have gone through this where you expected something and didn't get it and got something else. It will be very, very interesting. I did want to ask you about the remaining decisions of the Supreme Court.
Well, there's a big decision that has to do with Donald Trump's claim of absolute immunity from criminal prosecution. I sat in on oral arguments on that case in the Supreme Court. I even sat in for the hearing that concerned this issue at the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals. Now, Donald Trump has lost at both the trial court level, the appellate court level. It's going to be up to the Supreme Court to weigh in. And this could determine whether or not, depending upon the way they rule, whether or not that election interference case actually takes place before the November election.
Would you agree that this decision is not as much about former President Trump as it is about every president going forward?
That point was brought out by Justice Brett Kavanaugh during the course of oral arguments, that the decision that they make is a decision that will not only impact the former president, Donald Trump, but will impact future presidents who hold that office. Absolutely. And so for that reason, the Supreme Court needs to factor in what was decided at the lower courts and see whether or not they will uphold those decisions at the lower court level.
All right, John, as always, we appreciate it. We'll see. You never know. Tomorrow morning, 74 degrees.
74.
It might be.
Donna might be thanking John.
All right, John, thank you so much.
All right, have a great day. Bye-bye.
You do the same. We'll talk next week. John Decker with Gray TV. And that's it for us. All right, we're back here tomorrow. A ton to get to. Tomorrow is a very big day.
I'm excited about our 7 o'clock hour in particular.
Big guests tomorrow. Get ready for it tomorrow morning.
From the Stanley Theater Studios, WIBX Utica, Rome, W295EI, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
It's the first day of summer, and it feels like it. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
The house is hot, and heat rises, so we're just trying to get through it.
She's in Philadelphia, where it may hit 98 degrees this weekend. It's part of a large area of the north under heat alerts.
Stretching from the Great Lakes region to the Ohio Valley and into the Northeast. Excessive heat warnings have been issued in places that have never seen them before. The National Weather Service in Caribou, Maine, on the northern tip of the state, has issued its first ever such warning due to an expected feels-like temperature of 110 degrees.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers. Tropical storm Alberto is now moving inland into Mexico, where it'll dissipate tonight. The storm's heavy rains already drenched South Texas, causing some flooding.
We thought the rain was going to come down on top, but we didn't know it was going to come up through the storm drains.
He's in Galveston. President Biden goes to Camp David today to start prepping for next week's debate with former President Trump. Independent Robert F. Kennedy Jr. failed to qualify to join them. He's more than 30 points behind those two in a new Fox News poll. In a head-to-head matchup, Fox's Jessica Rosenthal reports.
President Biden has 50% support in the latest Fox News poll to former President Trump's 48%. The first time the president's been ahead of the former president since October, though it's still within the margin of error. The poll found independents go for President Biden by 9 points. Fox News pollsters note shifting opinions on the economy may factor into these numbers. 70% disapproved of the president on inflation in December. Now just 62% do.
Still, the poll